Welcome to Vega's World. I'm your most excellent host, JC Vega, and today I am joined by
Captain Aaron Nova.
And the Music City Messiah, Kayden Greene.
In today's episode, we are going to talk about the most obscure property of all time, Power Rangers. You've probably never heard of it.
Everybody's heard of Power Rangers.
Of course.
Super underground. Super underground. You got to go to the back door of a coffee shop to get VHS tapes of Power Rangers.
The code word is Morphinominal. I can't say that right. Morphinominal. Did I say it right?
Yeah, it's Morphinominal.
Right? Okay, all right.
Well, of course, let's give a little bit background about Power Rangers, though. Came out in 1993 by Haim Saban, who was a music producer. Decided to get into kids' television because he went to Japan once, saw...
It's like your backstory, right?
Super
It's
Sentai.
basically how I got into pro wrestling.
Yeah,
I wanted to get into kids television, but YouTube wasn't around yet. So, yeah.
The music drift away.
Did you get paid less than a McDonald's employee?
Yeah.
By a guy named Haim Saban?
Yes.
Yeah.
But it was by every indie promoter in the state of Florida.
Brother, Haim Saban here. Kayden Greene. Next tag team champions. All right. Sorry.
Yeah,
I'm sorry.
before that, Stan Lee back in the 80s tried to bring Super Sentai to America because the toy company did a Spider-Man television show. And that spawned, into Super Sentai. And then here we are with Mighty Morphin Power Rangers. Let's start with you, Kayden. What was some of your first memories of Power Rangers and what season?
It's season 1. So I was, not to age myself, but I was 10 years old when Power Rangers came out. So I was in that age group where it was like, it's okay to watch it, but you didn't tell your friends that you watch it. And I watched it all the way until in space, but I would run home from middle school to watch Power Rangers by myself. Full sprint. Good 2 miles.
No
Back when I had cardio.
Dodging cars to watch Zordon call for the Rangers.
Listen, it's a very good structure. It's built so well. Like you have your intro, here's your bad guy, and then it's unmorph fight scene, morphed fight scene, the comeback, brother, and then you have your giant monster. And then the third act would be the Megazords.
Falsy.
Yeah.
The giant monster,
Yeah, so
giant monster growing is your falsy.
Yeah. There's the falsy. The monster's back up. Okay, I'm the baby face. How do I get over on this guy now?
The big finish. Power Sword.
Yeah,
Goozle
take it
powder
home.
schmaz, brother.
Aaron Nova, what's your first memories of Power Rangers?
Oh, man.
And what season got you hooked?
Mighty Morphin, definitely. Mostly the ninjettis. So the season 3. I mean, I remember it from the first season, just being a wee little toddler watching it. But when my brain grew enough to where I can remember, it was definitely Mighty Morphin Power Rangers movie, of course, because it was like a face melter. But that season sticks out because one thing I would always connect it to is WCW versus NWO World Tour. The character in the game, Hannibal Hayabusa, I thought was Tommy. I'm like, oh, Power Rangers and wrestling are connected because the suits look so similar. And then just been hooked ever since.
Hell yeah. My first experience, of course, Mighty Morphin Power Rangers. I had the first VHS of Green with Evil. Oh, yeah. So I wore that out. And episode 4, or Food Fight, I think it was. I had those two. Wore those out. And watched.
What a finish.
With the Pudgy Pig?
Pudgy Pig, brother. You're looking at me. That's my alter ego now. Can I?
You were actually in the suit, probably, weren't you?
Could I do that? Could I
travel?
take that name and
Pudgy Pig? As a
Pig?
moniker?
There you
Yeah.
go.
Fuck yeah. Sign the action figures.
Aaron Nova, the Pudgy Pig.
Yeah. I like it. It's gonna sell tickets, brother.
I love that episode because it's
One
of the most unique finishes of. Sorry, everybody. You're gonna get a lot of wrestling terms here. Just so you know, we're wrestlers. But what a finish that was. Let's kill him by feeding him. It was like jalapenos or something.
Hot peppers, yeah.
Yeah, hot peppers. There you go.
Leave that out. Yeah, I don't want the spicy stuff. Get
What
it
a
away.
finish. He ate everything.
The funny part is that he's walking around like a multicultural event. They're like, yeah, come try, fried rice. And they're like, yeah, Trini made it. And you're like, that's not racist. Let's continue. And
I gotta go back and watch it.
And Jason's like, let me flip burgers. And we're like, that's so white. Who's next?
So American.
What an American concept. Burgers.
And they're like, whoa, whoa, whoa. Why is there spicy food here? And it's not even like Jamaican jerk, right? It's literally like sub sandwiches.
Yeah,
and they're like,
yeah.
and we got peppers.
Yeah, let's put the peppers in the sandwich and feed it to him because there's nothing else. We have Megazords.
Yep.
Right, no.
That can just we can
Squash.
use this and squish him like real quick. Power sword, boom, you're dead. But
Yeah.
this is the early days, so it's like that's got to be like the first like 5 episodes, right?
Yeah, yeah.
So they weren't like seasoned yet. They weren't
Zordon probably withheld that information
like they got to learn on their own. Like they're teenagers.
with attitude.
Let's save the world by picking teenagers like the Olympics. You know,
Yeah.
they don't got much to lose. They can just focus on saving the world.
Yeah.
And
that
I'm
they
going to give
did.
them the most crucial bit of help at the very last second after they got their like asses kicked. It's like, oh yeah, by the way, there's this thing in, like far off Kentucky, maybe. I think it's buried somewhere. Like,
So you guys aren't doing so hot. You know you have a fucking cannon, right? Oh, did I not tell you about the... God damn, I was so busy being a floating head.
Silly me. I have millions of years of knowledge, and I forgot to tell you guys.
You guys have a cannon. Shit.
You could have used that to kill him. I mean, it would have worked.
Since we're talking about Pudgy Pig, let's see. Top 3 monsters. Monster of the Week.
Monster of the Week from Mighty Morphin, because there's a lot of great ones throughout time.
Yeah, Mighty Morphin are really good.
Let's go with Mighty
Mor-
Morphin. I'll go. Yeah, mine's Pudgy Pig. One of them. King Sphinx.
King Sphinx is a
another-
banger.
another good
Sphinx is
one.
pretty cool.
See, if we're just strictly season 1, what's another?
Or just even Mighty Morphin, because Mighty Morphin had like a bunch of
Yeah.
callbacks too, right?
Yeah.
That's true. Oh, the crab guy who like had the fake rangers, the putties.
Krabby Cabby
Yeah, Krabby Cab. Yeah,
I think so.
No, Krabby Cabby's.
is like a
That's the taxi cab.
Yeah.
This
Okay,
one's,
never mind.
Was
So
it
it was
Grabby
just-
Krabby, or is
He was
that
just
a naughty
giant
thing?
crab. I remember. And, like he was the Red Ranger.
Yeah.
And, like he got demorphed.
The gangster Crab.
Yeah. That,
For those
the
YouTube-
My Way Entertainment did.
Yeah.
Triple Dollar Renita.
It was something Krabby.
Yeah, but
I remember that one.
Yes.
The grabber. No.
Wait a minute. The
I
picture.
mean, they're the black guy's the Black Ranger, the yellow Ranger's
Is
Asian.
Asian lady.
They claim that Jason was Indian, but I don't remember that being a
Well,
part of
they
his
also said
backstory.
that Rocky was Mexican, or like,
Oh, nice.
and it's like,
You ain't full of us.
come on, man.
cartoons.
I know that motherfucker.
Yeah, it was Carla. Carlos was the one who came in hot. So,
Top 3 for you, Aaron.
oh, yeah, I was about to jump to
You're about
Turbo.
to- yeah, come on now.
Like how everybody's hair was bad that season.
Oh.
But I'm sorry. Did Adam and Carlos have the same haircut in Turbo? That like weird.
Close enough. The
Bob cut?
long bob cut looking
Yeah.
thing?
All right. Sorry. So yeah.
I guess.
Top 3 monsters. Mighty Morphin. Got to be Goldar number 1 because I was terrified of Goldar.
Well, he's a henchman though.
But
Okay, we'll
it's
count it.
Goldar.
We'll count
That
it.
dude-
All right, Goldar. Yeah. He's. I mean,
just
he
the
was
bus
villain of the
scene
week.
when he was. I remember as a kid being terrified of riding the bus. I'm from New York. Because of Goldar picking up the city bus and like, oh, Rangers, I was like, oh my God, this is so gonna happen right now.
On the way
I'm
to
next.
school?
He's Angel Grove first, then the Bronx next. It was, it was all connected. So
He's literally crossing the whole country just to grapple.
he was terrified. He looked terrifying.
Where's the captain?
And that
taking
deep
the hostage's
voice.
bus.
That deep voice he was terrifying. I was
He had a
terrified.
menacing voice for sure.
So Goldar number 1 before they like super nerfed him. You said all 3, right? Or
yeah,
just
just top 3.
Sentiback is a great villain. So that was season, I want to say 2. No, season 3. That's when he turned the Rangers into footballs.
Oh, okay.
Oh,
Yeah,
And the budget was so bad. So like the machine Rocky used to save them was like this bucket from like the dollar store with some like circuit boards glued on it. I'm like, this is the greatest. I like Sentiback. That's one, that name is cool, and it looked like a terrifying villain. As fun of an episode it was.
See, when you said Sentiback, I was thinking about the gorilla monster that like pretended to be Zach that one episode.
Okay, that was
Oh
okay.
yeah, that's in like the first season because
Yeah.
that's on
That's
his VHS.
Yeah, that's man, what was that name of that episode? So that's actually like that Zoo 2 footage. That was with the mirror, right? That had like Billy's emblem on it, and that's how they beat him, or how they found him.
I don't remember.
Yeah, I'm drawing a blank on that one.
That's the deep dive.
Yeah. Shoot.
All right, so third villain. Sorry, before I'm going off the rails.
Your third
I'm
monster
just
of the
shooting,
week.
brother, right now. Third villain.
Well, goddamn, Rito Repulsa didn't want to put anybody over.
Because Mighty Morphin had so many good ones, man.
They did.
Trying to think of one that I definitely Goldar Sentiback, because that was just fun. Can I say Zed?
No, we said Monster of the Week, sir. I mean, he could be your top.
Monsters of the Week.
Yes.
Oh man, I missed
Yes.
that part. Sorry. That's
We
gonna have
broke it down into categories, but I mean, if he's your top villain for the.
Oh man, what was the one where they he was a goblin in the first season? I don't remember his name.
Man.
Damn it. That's the deep dive. I'm gonna have to look, brother.
You mean the troll?
Was he a troll? I remember the Japan
Mr.
episode.
Tickle Sneezer?
Tickle Sneeze, I remember that episode, but he was like
Trini stuffed doll or something.
yeah, he brought to life. But in Japan, he was trying to be one of the villains, but he was terrible. So they had they were interviewing him, like they were interviewing villains as if they weren't making villains themselves.
Right.
Tickle Sneeze, I do remember that. Oh man.
You want us to come back to you?
Yeah, come back, because there's so many. I'm thinking of.
I mean, there was a lot of good ones.
Happy Birthday Zach was a cool one. The Black Knight I thought was pretty cool.
Another monster favorite from like Power Rangers. Was it Turbo? I think was the Mad Mike the Pizza Chef.
Oh, that one ruled.
Yeah.
That was
Trouble by the Slice, right?
No, because Divatox was working at the pizza.
She had amnesia. That's the greatest episode of Power Rangers.
That villain was just so random and funny.
For one reason only.
God.
Because they said, we're here to toss your salad. That's the greatest episode.
Oh, God. Yeah, and it was Carlos, or not, was it?
No, it was
TJ. It was TJ.
Yes.
Man.
That's the greatest episode of Power Rangers.
The only way you can get away with that kind of joke in a kid's show. Kayden Greene, your top 3 villains, monsters of the week.
All right. Pumpkin Wrapper.
Oh, yeah.
That's obviously, for my love of spooky things, that one's a banger. There was a baseball monster called Babe Ruthless.
That's
and I want to wrestle Babe Ruthless. I don't know who it is, but I want to wrestle them.
I'm gonna tell you right now, if you are an up-and-coming wrestler trying to find yourself,
you need a gimmick.
just look up any Power Ranger name.
Yeah, first season mostly, because if you get into like anything past like Zordon era, they're named like Tragatron.
Yeah,
and you're like, the fuck? It's a lobster.
So
name it Claws.
Anytime I'm around you, we have so many interactions you probably don't even remember. So, and this is going to come back to Power Rangers right now. So I remember me and Isaiah before he started iReyes. Yeah. We just randomly put up the camera and the green screen, and we was just recording promos. Remember, Jason Vega. You remember?
Jason Vega.
So that exact day, so we painted our faces because we were making fun of you guys, and the name I came up with I don't even remember the tag team name we made up, and we cut a promo on you guys, and the name I got was from Lightspeed. It was Demonite. And I was like, we were sitting, I was like, man, I need a cool name to match these guys' names. Like, I need a dark demon name. And I was like, I went through like greatest Power Ranger monster list.
Yeah.
And Demonite showed up, and I'm like, there it is right now.
It's meant to be.
So, man. So out of my, like, if it's all of Power Rangers, like, Goldar, of course. Another one I think of is Jinxer from Lightspeed.
Okay. Yeah.
Terrified the hell out of me. That was the scariest looking monster ever. Who's another good monster?
Commander Crayfish was the dude's name.
Ah.
So I had to look back that.
So who's the Grabby Krabby? Is that from? No, I'm thinking of Beetleborgs. I think Beetleborgs
maybe they had a crab.
There's so many.
They had a crab monster. Yes, so many. I had to look myself, and I'm mad I didn't even say Pudgy Pig, because Pudgy Pig was one of my.
A banger, yeah.
That's how we opened the show. That's just a banger villain because it's me.
Okay, so Babe Ruthless was your
was my second. Yeah.
Yeah, I was gonna say I think we're on your second now.
No. Babe Ruthless is my second. First is Pumpkin Rapper.
Okay,
Pumpkin Rapper is a banger.
Yes.
And then
Your
there's
third.
a Thanksgiving episode with Turkey Jerk.
Yes.
He looks like
Yes.
one of those bombs from Fortnite that
Yes.
you used to like jump into the sky or whatever they're
Yes,
called.
yes.
With a turkey inside.
He had like the long. I remember that one.
I mean, some of the names in this first season were tremendous. We got Chunky Chicken,
Chunky Chicken. That's also Aaron Nova's
That's
other.
also my name.
the Eye Guy,
Eye guy was killer.
Eye
He had
Guy
like
was
nothing
dope.
but eyes.
Yes.
Yeah, scary.
Snizzard.
Snizzard was a snake lizard.
Yeah,
Yes.
I think he was
Yeah,
voiced.
that was the
he?
gray one, right?
That could have been a Bryan Cranston
I think he was
voice.
voiced by Bryan Cranston, if I'm not mistaken. He was also brought back for the Once and Always special
Oh yeah.
as Robos Lizard, of course. I mean,
Lizard.
let's see what else we had. We got Spitflower, which was.
I remember that one.
Oh wait, was that the one that ate Zach?
Oh, it ate all the
Jason.
weapons? No. I'm thinking Pudgy Pig ate all the weapons.
I think it was
Yeah,
Zach.
Pudgy Pig got all the weapons, but oh man, he looks like the one later on when like they got eaten to explain away why those three weren't around.
Bones. Remember that one with the cool hat? I remember him from the
Bones.
game.
Yes. Okay.
Uh,
Okay. On the same note, but top 3 henchmen, as far as like the people surrounding the big bad. We'll go with them first, and then we'll get our big bads.
Goldar, right? Number 1, Goldar.
Top draft pick in both classes.
Yeah, Goldar is just. He was elite, man. I hate how they done him, man, because he was so cool.
Mm-hmm.
And then Rito
He
came
was
on the
fierce.
scene, and they like
They
kind of nerfed.
basically
Goldar.
were the new Bulk and Skull.
Yeah, which is weird. Like, at least, one cool part when he smashed the power coins, like he destroyed all the power coins. I
Yeah.
thought
That was dope. Yeah.
that was cool. For like a second, I was like, Goldar's back, baby.
Yeah.
And he was not back. Definitely not.
I just remember he had Jason sweating bullets in the dark dimension.
Yeah.
yeah.
He was like, "I'm gonna kill you, bro," and like all that smoke. He's
Jason's a great Red Ranger, man. He fought him head on.
around. Yeah.
Don't quit, guys. 'Cause
Rocky
Jason
wouldn't have
didn't
pulled
quit.
that shit off.
Nah, he couldn't have.
Rocky wouldn't have pulled off that.
Jason was so intense, man. He fought him with no powers. Goldar, Frax. I really love Frax.
What's he was
Time Force. That
Time
was
Force.
the robot that was
yes.
with Rancic. I just love that dark backstory he had.
yes.
How he became Frax and how he's low key plotting against Rancic to destroy the Rangers. Oh, so
Yeah.
cool. That's a really good story. Henchman Elgar, because he was
Elgar's a banger.
brother. Elgar's
Elgar looks like a penis.
he's a legend, brother. I don't
funny
know
as
what
shit,
he
too.
is, but he looked dangerous, man.
Isn't he also Divatox's brother too?
Remember that?
I thought it was explained in the beginning that the
Probably.
reason he was around was because like that's her brother.
Probably, but yeah.
I'll do mine next. My top one, Goldar too.
Goldar.
I mean, he's just he's
the
just
man.
a badass. Had wings that occasionally he lost when he screwed up, but like you know,
Yeah, he had the wings.
tough SOB. I love his counterpart too, Gryffindor from
Yeah.
Zoo Ranger. You know,
Yeah.
I've got a vow of silence till I find my wife, Scorpion. No, Lami. Till
Oh,
she
yeah.
comes back, I ain't
Yeah.
talking. Ain't getting a word out of me.
Scorpina.
Now it's just like, yeah, he was just a badass until he wasn't when he was. paired
Remember
up
how
with
like
Rito.
Scorpina would turn into like it was that rolling rock with the
Yeah.
scorpions
Yes,
on it?
yes.
So that's an entrance, brother.
Right?
But yeah, so you got Goldar.
My second one, man. Oh, I had this earlier,
This is
but
henchmen's, right?
yeah, these are just strictly the
Now
henchmen.
I'm thinking of just names from like
Yeah.
they are like I was like, how could I forget Louis Kaboom? Louis Kaboom from Zeo. That was Louis Kaboom. Definitely a wrestling name right there.
Not
Louis Kaboom is on Doorlight Wrestling or the Doors Light Brother Wrestling.
Listen, that is I'd put the title on Louis
Come to the ring,
Kaboom.
Louis Kaboom. Oh god. Oh, not okay. So he was from In Space, not Darkonda, the guy who raised Strong. I'm blanking on
Dark
his
Sector.
name.
Dark Spectre?
No, that's the villain. God, what was this?
Darkonda.
No, I just said not Darkonda. The other guy who raised Astronema.
Yeah, it was Ecliptor. Right?
Ecliptor. There we go. You
Ecliptor.
said Dark Spectre. Okay, Ecliptor.
Oh yeah, Dark Spectre's the other.
Yeah,
God,
yes.
I'm so
That's why I
there's
was
so
like-
many cool names that they're all
Right?
But I know which
They just
one.
bleed together. Okay, so I said Goldar, Ecliptor. Dude was a badass too. I think, dude, Countdown to Destruction. You know what it'd have been badass if you had Goldar and Ecliptor just like
Yeah.
fucking
Darkonda's
shit up.
was scary. So They fused one episode, Ecliptor and Darkonda. He was Dark Lipter. I thought that was cool. And then he turned red at the end.
God.
I remember that one.
And my third one.
Dark Lipter.
You know, I got a soft spot for Finster.
Finster?
Yes, come on. I mean, he's making all those monsters, dude.
Does he count as a henchman?
Yeah, I was gonna say
He makes the monsters.
He was like the guy at the job that like takes everyone's shit and will probably shoot the place up.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, Finster was like, fucking yeah, what do you want? A cockroach monster? God, fuck. Cool. I was going to go see my wife. I haven't seen her in 3 weeks.
Yeah.
But no, a cockroach monster. Here, let's fucking do it.
Speaking of which, and this dovetails to a topic I'll bring up later, in the comic books, they gave him like a sinister-ass backstory.
Yeah.
Where like, he makes monsters and like one rampaged his entire village. And his wife was all like, dude, this isn't you. Like, calm down. He was like, no, you gotta believe me. This was an accident. Like, you can't tell anybody. He accidentally kills her. And Rita takes his grief and was like, I mean, hey, you made a beautiful monster. So, like, how about you come do this stuff for me? I got this special clay that you could use. And, like, you know, hey, your art could be appreciated across the galaxy. And, like, the artwork, too, was, like, almost Sandman-esque. Like, Neil Gaiman's Sandman.
Yeah.
With how, like, ridiculous it looked. And then like at the end of that story, he's trying to recreate his wife because he had like a piece of her hair, and like she was like, oh no, hey, that thing you did was still horrible and you're horrible now. And he kills her and he's like, no, that's not her. The eyes were wrong, the face was wrong, everything was wrong, her personality was wrong. I'll keep working at it and make it better and perfect.
Yeah, Rita
So like
really
he was
manipulated him right there. He was
right?
vulnerable.
In the
brother.
comic books. That dude is a freaking psycho, like scary, like psychopath. It's like
Finster. But not in the States, not on TV.
No.
Not on TV, though.
He
No,
was
he
not
was
that guy.
In 1993, he was a bitch.
yeah, he was
He was just this old dude. Like,
I'll make this monster for you. It's not going to be good, but all right.
Yes,
you
Rita.
wanted it.
I did my best, all right? Is it going to beat up 5 teenagers? Yeah, for a little bit.
maybe we'll get somewhere with these. Like there were like how many episodes? Like probably like 50 episodes of Power Rangers. When do you think Rita was just gonna get it? Like
It's not going to happen.
you know,
Yeah.
this guy stinks. All right, we need something
We
else.
need something else.
We need substance here. Did Zed fire him? Like when Zed came in, it was like, all right, dude,
I
get
think
out
he was
of
just
here.
around at that point. Like Zed was like, "Hey, just chill out. You should go over there."
Let me show you how it's done. Move to the side.
Kayden Greene.
All right.
Your
I had
top 3
some-
henchmen.
I had some in mind.
So many good ones.
So
man.
yeah, I mean,
So Samurai had some of the coolest looking fucking villains. The season, booty sauce, right?
Yes,
like absolute trash.
actors suck.
But Samurai had some really cool villains, and so did Ninja Steel.
Love Ninja Steel.
Like what was his name?
Galvanax. That's a name.
Galvanax. Yeah,
That's a name right there.
Yeah.
That's my work name.
and then like Sledge as a whole was a badass looking dude.
Yeah.
Those seasons had some really bangers. I'm obviously a Rito Repulso fan. I can get it out of my mouth eventually. Rito was my guy because he was a fucking idiot, right?
You give off
Like,
Rito vibes,
no
brother.
yeah,
You're
dude.
Rito.
did you base your entire wrestling persona off?
Yeah, like I reshared something today that was like some like 7 years ago or something, and they're like anytime an announcer says if Kayden Greene was a smart man, he would do this. I know I'm doing my gimmick right, and that's exactly what it is. There was a point where the Coda almost got gear that was Goldar and Rito, and it was like
That sounds bad.
I still really fucking want to do it.
Rito gear. I think you should totally do
It's not
Rito
too late.
gear.
It's not too late to do Rito gear.
Get Rito gear and then put me over in it.
There you go. Yeah,
What?
that's fine.
What are we talking about?
Are you wearing a Green Ranger suit too?
No, I would not. The Green
shield?
Ranger
With the shield?
is terrible. All right, I know everybody loves Green Ranger. Let's get this out the way now.
Ooh.
Tommy's Green Ranger was not that good. He was a weak Ranger.
Yeah,
White Ranger, million light years better.
Oh, okay, no.
Super better than the
Sir.
Green
Sir.
Ranger.
I draw the line, sir. Now maybe it's just because I like the shield and all that from the green suit.
I
But, like, it's
I don't know.
bad.
I think
Dragon
the white-
Sword, Dragon Dagger, totally
I mean,
different.
he took out-
just the Ranger itself was
He
just
took out the whole he took out the whole squad. He jumped up in the Zord and was like, "Bye."
as a bad guy. Yes, cool storytelling.
Yeah, phenomenal bad guy.
As a Sixth Ranger, he was terrible.
Nah, I mean, yeah. After a while,
It was like Coin had a battery and like Zordon. I was like, all right, here's some energy. Go help these guys out. You know,
Yeah, it was
don't die.
the remains of what was left of the dragon candle or the green candle, and it was
yes.
Once the power is gone, you're fucked. So they're like, we'll just send them and just
You're gonna die. Once this candle, you're done.
You're done.
Right? Your work here is done.
And then eventually he comes down like Jesus from the heavens in the White Ranger suit.
Yeah, that was a little.
God, how do you think the rest of them must have felt? They're watching this guy like ascend from the heavens, and it's like, oh, it's Tommy. I know they were glad, but at the same time, it's like, why does he get this glossy ass entrance?
Yeah,
like,
so he's the only one who gets more powers here,
right? Like,
So who did you guys think the White Ranger was going to be when you first watched that? I thought it was going to be Jason because they were like gassing it up. They were like, he'll be the new leader of the Power Rangers and blah, blah, blah. And I remember being like, oh, it's fucking Jason. They bring him back. And man's already got 2 years experience.
Yeah, that was a good. I don't think I had one in mind, honestly. But I mean, that would have been a good candidate.
I
for
only
sure.
knew him. I thought it'd just be like another dude. Like
a new guy?
Yeah, I figured it'd be like just the new guy. And I think it was supposed to be VR Troopers guy, right?
The actor, yeah.
Ryan Steele?
I thought Ryan Steele was supposed. Ryan Steele voiced the Gold Ranger prior to Jason taking the role, or Austin taking the role.
Yeah. So that Gold Ranger,
but
that's when I was invested. Like, who could this be?
That is right though. I remember he was Jason David Frank went off to do something else, and they were bringing that guy from VR Troopers.
Yeah,
but then they were just like
Brad.
they switched him out.
Oh,
Like,
Brad.
Oh yeah,
something.
because it was Cybertron. Tommy was going to do Cybertron.
Because Tommy was so popular, they had to bring him back.
Yeah, they couldn't have done another spin-off show with Tommy playing a different character that wasn't Tommy.
No. Tommy was the it factor. That was the total package of power. That's a Power Ranger, damn it.
So your last two henchmen, your next two picks.
Yeah, Rito.
Yeah, Rito Repulso. Is it Repulso? Yeah, Repulso.
Yeah.
We're doing some almost Spanish conjugations here.
Wouldn't it be Repulsa if they're like sharing the last name? They're related.
Yeah, I mean, you would think.
Yeah,
Rito.
but they were different because it was like Rito and Rita. So it's like the last names apparently had to be different too.
Yeah.
So it was Repulsa and
space.
Repulso.
I mean, their dad's Master Vile. So
Yeah.
Master Vile in the metallic armor, brother. Master Vile. That's a villain right there.
Yeah.
He looked cool as hell and had the floating heads like base.
Yeah.
Cool.
So your next two.
So I'm always a big fan of that Bulk and Skull idea of bad guys that work with them, and Capri and Mara from Ninja Storm.
Love them. Oh yeah.
I remember them. Yeah.
Yeah.
Hilarious.
And then the girl who played Mara stayed on to do the next season for Dino Thunder, where she played the reporter girl.
Oh yeah. The reporter and the cameraman, the goofy cameraman.
She looks familiar. I thought so.
Oh man, yes. Now I remember that. Yeah. They were so cool, man. They could have had like an anime spin-off, kind of like they were cool.
Not in the budget. Chaim Saban was like,
Yeah. I'm not paying.
You want to do what now?
I didn't pay for this 10 years ago. I'm not paying for it now.
I wouldn't even get a budget together for a Bulk and Skull show. You think I'm gonna give you money?
Dude, I would have loved a Bulk and Skull show.
Bulk and Skull show would have been crazy.
God, that's why. Yeah, that's why they were chimpanzees for the longest time.
Yeah.
Because they were like trying to work out their own show, and then it was just
Turbo.
like, I mean, I think I remember Paul Schreier saying that's the guy who played Bulk, that they had an episode like legit recorded, and they played it for like a small test group.
Yeah.
And they were just the kids were like, okay, so when are the Power Rangers showing up? There's nothing here. Oh, and then they were like, oh, okay, yeah, maybe that's not the best idea.
I can see that. I can see that. That makes sense.
Let's send them.
They
back
had their
over.
own theme song though.
Yeah. God, I love that. I love
freaking
that song.
cool. And they had leather jackets. Heart Foundation. What?
All right,
Everything's pro wrestling.
third one. Not a phenomenal season, but good bad guys. So Jungle Fury had so Daichi is like the main bad guy in that situation.
Yeah.
But Camille and the Fly, I think his name was Flit,
I remember that. Yeah. And they had
they
had
like
powers too.
would do like commentary during the fights.
Nice.
It was just like there was really something about it that was like so funny. Like, and the Power Rangers coming, man. She's got this like high pitched voice, and then she was like a chameleon. And like,
Jungle Fever is actually a really good season. I just didn't like the Morpher.
The Morpher really took away from it, and they were like, it was more Beetleborgs than it was Power Rangers because they were like 14 underage working at a pizza place.
Yeah, absolutely.
And then their mentor, that was their 6th Ranger, even though he was the 4th Ranger on the team. Was like high the whole time. Like you couldn't tell he wasn't.
Dude, man.
He was like, "Oh man, Rangers, I don't know, dude. Like, I don't know. What could we do right here? Whatever." And then it's like half of the season deep, he's like, "Oh yeah, I forgot to tell you, I'm also a Power Ranger." So,
He was just
and I'm purple. And I'm purple.
Yeah,
So-
second Purple Ranger if you count.
God, the purple haze.
Liambo, if you count
it's all full
Liambo.
circle.
Because Liambo was purple.
From
Mystic Force.
Mystic.
Yeah. Well, he turned red too. He was like purple and then he was red. But
Yeah.
like, I would say in Jungle Fury that's like the first like official Purple Ranger because he was on the main fight. Well, Mystic Force had like 10 Rangers.
What an odd color too. I think.
Yeah.
Just purple.
I feel like purple could have been, and like they had purple in Dino Charge.
Yeah.
Because Dino Charge had like 67 Rangers.
Everybody was a Ranger. If you like were booked on that one, you're just gonna be a Ranger. Like you're a Ranger tonight. Pick a color. Have at it.
There's like
More
3
Rangers
shades
than
of
the
gray.
NWO had members.
Yeah.
There's
There's like 3 shades of gray. It was like granite, gray, and silver, but the silver was definitely also gray.
Oh my god.
blue,
yeah,
navy blue, and then they had like that baby blue one.
Baby blue.
You don't think somebody could have been like, all right, let's settle down here with all these colors. We don't need them all.
I think at that point they were like, all right, we had like 30 seasons now. Let's just go balls to the wall.
go balls out.
Let's just throw all the colors. You know what's a great idea? Instead of 5 colors, every color.
Yeah.
Every episode we'll just bring in a new Ranger. And
Isn't
I think that's all it was.
Isn't it crazy how like popular that show was that they decided to like Saban himself, that whole studio was like, let's just make 3 more of these shows.
Yeah, that was the first one.
We had Big Bad Beetleborgs.
Which was awesome.
We had VR Troopers.
Yeah.
Which was
That was
watchable.
It was
That's crazy that was like 3 different shows like melded into one.
Yeah.
Then that was
from like a decade
bizarre.
prior.
Yeah.
Because it was from the 80s.
And you could tell though too, because it was like they would go to the cutscenes and nobody was ever together.
The one time.
It was almost like split them up type of situation. They'd be like, JP, go take care of that guy. And I'll take care of so-and-so.
2 shows.
And it's like, oh my God, and
Franken
she's
show.
grounded, so she can't be a Power Ranger today.
That's
I will say my favorite quote unquote Power Rangers ripoff was Superhuman Samurai Cyber Squad.
Oh,
With Joey Lawrence?
Matthew Lawrence.
Matthew Lawrence.
Yes.
Matthew
Don't
Lawrence.
Get it right.
Pay the price.
That show was fun.
great theme song.
God, that theme song. Tim Curry was the villain.
Oh yeah.
Kilo Khan, dude. Like,
Yes, Tim Curry
oh,
voiced the villain.
that was fun.
Superhuman
I like how
Samurai.
initially though it was gonna be called Power Boy, and his name was gonna be Jason Zack, and I'm Saban was like, hang on, motherfuckers.
Yeah.
Who wrote
You
this?
over here at Deke, you better stop it, or I'm gonna get my fleet of lawyers on you. And they're like, all right, calm down.
Yeah.
Just take it
Take it easy. We'll
guys.
figure out something.
Hella ironic because all it is just a studio buying stock footage. And
Yeah.
Right.
Doing the exact same thing he did.
Same thing. He's like, I'm the king of cheap here. All right, nobody's cashing
Yeah,
in
nobody's
on,
robbing
on
my
this.
bullshit.
And what's even funnier about that, Superhuman Samurai Cyber Squad was so cheaper that it made Time Saban go, wow, I mean, you don't want to put money into this? They only had like 3.5 sets.
Yeah,
So that's why
3.5 sets.
every single episode was those 3 sets.
The school,
Yeah.
All
and
the time.
The school, it was a house.
and then
And it
the
was-
bad guy's room.
Malcolm's room. I think that was it. Like maybe the hallway too.
Yeah.
The hallway for them. Yeah, cafeteria, the hallway, Malcolm's room.
Yeah,
and that
because
was just
it was pretty much
But I
Listen,
mean,
guys.
it was fun. But then they were like, "Oh shoot, we
the
only had,
action's
like,
on the computer. All right, we don't need all
It
this.
was
Yeah.
that was a fun. They ran out. There were only so few episodes. They ran out of monsters, so they had to recycle the monster fights.
Yeah. Mhm.
Again, because that show ran for like 33 episodes, and there's only like 22. F that maybe. So they were like,
I think
these kids aren't gonna notice. And yeah, you're right. Sure enough, I didn't realize
I didn't
until
pay
later on. It was like, wait a minute. this is the exact same fight from like
same
10
monsters.
episodes ago.
I love
There was also Masked Rider.
Oh,
Let's not forget Masked Rider. Masked Rider was so good. It had so much potential. There was a crossover episode with Mighty Morphin.
Yes.
And that's how it
Like,
debuted. It debuted with Mighty Morphin.
So good.
I think they even give it more backstory too. That like Alpha 5 was from his home planet, like Edenaway.
Yeah.
So
Furbus.
Yeah. Oh god, that
Furbus was the little Furby monster.
Yeah.
Like Pal, which would become Mini Me. You know, he was the one who did this. He did the stunt work for Furbus, which is really just walking in the costume.
Yeah.
Right? Furry costume. But Masked Rider, which I always growing up, I always wondered because I know Masked Rider, Kamen Rider in Japan was bigger
Huge.
than
Yeah.
Sentai over there in
Yeah.
Metal Hero, which is like I never got why it didn't get as big here because I know they tried with Masked Rider. They had a couple seasons.
The Power Ranger effect of like that came first, so like kids were like, we got this thing over here.
That was lightning in a bottle. Ham Saban really cashed in on that one.
Yes, for as cheap as that guy is, which I'm gonna repeat probably
he's
a couple times this episode.
Which I give it to him because he really okay, Power Rangers over. Let's try. Let's dabble in VR Troopers. Let's dabble in Masked Rider. Let's dabble in this. You know, he had it, but Power Rangers clearly was the cash cow because it was something for everybody. It wasn't like one main protagonist. It was a group of colorful superheroes that you can really,
it tapped into everything.
Yeah,
like the
you had
martial arts,
options.
Suit like martial arts suit battles, big
in the 90s.
giant like monsters and robot fights. Like it's the
it
perfect
had
combination.
everything. You had kung fu in the 90s, which was humongous.
Yeah, karate literally boomed because of Power Rangers. Like, karate studios were opening up on every corner in like the mid 90s because of Power Rangers.
I got into karate because of Power Rangers.
Same.
I remember too. I think for a short while I did like the whole Tommy Kiaz too.
Oh the Green Ranger kata.
God, that was hysterical.
It's on YouTube. If you ever feel the need to get back into shape, you could do the
VHS tape, the workout.
The VHS tape, but it's like cut in half, and the last half is first, and the first half is last.
Interesting. I actually had that VHS too. The Green Ranger kata. Yeah.
Oh man, he was awesome, man. R.I.P. the real one, Jason David Frank. That was
I mean, for as overpowered as Tommy was, I'm gonna say, like,
he was only like 5 different Rangers.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, that Master Morpher was pretty sweet.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you're gonna poo-poo the Morphin Master, sir?
I get
the
it.
Master Morpher?
I would just
Morphin Master's a completely different thing. The Master Morpher with like
just
all
at
his
that
5 sets.
Just at that time, I felt like they were milking the shit out of. Can I curse on here? I ask this
I've already
every
cursed
time.
enough on here.
All right, but they just kept beating Mighty Morphin to death. Just give me a new design. Like, in my head, I'm like, okay, Master Morpher, Ben 10. Like, you got to have the Omnitrix?
Yeah.
Just something.
Instead, it was just the buckler.
It was just the buckler.
On repeat with different coins.
Yeah, but you got to switch your coins.
Like, we had the McDonald's toy. Like, it's the same thing. It's
Yeah,
literally the same thing.
I think it's pretty sweet. In that same note, Aaron, your top 3 Rangers like squads, the suits.
Suits? Because wait a minute, I want to preface this because I was thinking about this today. There's some really great helmets with bad suits, and there's some really great suits with bad helmets.
Yeah.
So like,
good example.
Are we
SPD.
talking
the full thing, that fits your aesthetic.
Okay, because I was going to say there's
Full
some really
suit?
great.
If you need a minute, we'll let Kayden go because he sounds like he's fired up.
I was thinking about how when we say suits, do we mean just the suit and not the helmet?
Because I just hate the SPD suits, but I love the helmets. Like, that's a great point that you brought up. Top 3 suits. Mystic Force. This is no particular order.
Okay.
Mystic Force, because they had the capes, the M's, like it just, and the helmets too, just were so gnarly with the designs on the helmets. And the capes are just awesome. What a time! Like the boom of Harry Potter.
Yeah,
they cashed in on that one.
It landed way too good. Like, I'm not a fan of the season. I tried watching it. I think the intro to that is just so bad that it makes it makes me sour for the show.
Was that in the Disney era too? That
was Disney era. It was like Disney. That was right before RPM, if I remember correctly. No, Jungle Fury. It was right before Jungle Fury.
Yes.
Okay, so it's
Jungle Fury is right before.
This is like
towards the tail end
2006.
before the Neo Saban era.
Yeah. Mystic Force on that. Solaris Knight, favorite Ranger ever. Design, character. I love the Solaris Knight. I love the Megazord, but designs, just for the 5, Mystic Force. You gotta have Ninjetti. Just the ninja costumes.
The Ninjetti
Just the
suit.
ninja suits.
Just the ninja suits alone were just amazing.
Those were pretty cool, yeah.
And back to because I saw it in wrestling, and I'm like, oh my god, wrestling and Power Rangers share a universe. I was wrong.
Kind of.
I mean, hey.
Oh yeah, there were the Power Raiders in Mexico. If you ever heard of them.
Oh no.
Yeah.
Is that like the Ninja Turtle ones too? What were they called?
Yeah.
The-
Oh,
Toxic Turtles.
they had the Ninja Turtle ones. In Japan, and I think WWF had them too. They had like these Ninja Turtle wrestling costumes, but not to spin off. Ninjetti number 2.
Okay.
No particular order, just the second.
Right.
I love the ninja suits, and I'm talking about the full mask with like they had like that thing hanging off.
Was it also the season
headband.
where they were like Black Ranger power, White Ranger power, which is
You had to have Ranger in the middle.
Yeah.
Had to have
So
Ranger in the middle.
Gotta, I mean, we're already teetering the line with a black guy being the Black Ranger.
Yeah. Well, they switched.
We course corrected a little bit, but
it's like,
yeah.
all right, we'll make
Maybe that call out wasn't such a great idea.
the black person the Yellow Ranger and the Asian person the Black Ranger.
We fixed it. We fixed
We
everything.
fixed it right there. Third suit that comes to mind, man. There's so many good ones.
Yeah. It's hard to pick.
It's probably my answer. Because now that you said the helmets and the suits, like I love space for the helmets.
Yeah, but the suits suck. The suits are so bland.
Yeah.
This is gonna be.
But I like the pared downness of it though. That's just me personally.
I'm gonna go with Turbo. Turbo suits and helmets, I think, complement each other. A lot of detail in them. I will go with Turbo. Turbo as the third pick.
What a hilarious season, by the way, because like the Sentai was comical.
Yeah.
But like a lot of the stories they were trying to push were like intense.
It was 97, brother.
and dark.
It
So,
was edgy TV, Crash TV. It was the most diverse cast. You had a kid, you had an Asian black lead.
That was
You
the
had a
second
Mexican.
iteration of that team.
Oh yeah, second iteration. Oh yeah, and you had 2 teams in one season.
Right.
You know, I loved it, man. I love Turbo. I think it doesn't get enough. Everybody kind of craps on them, but I think they really push some boundaries there in that one.
Oh man, I think that's one of my least favorite suits, though. To be honest, as far as Zordon here, maybe I don't know. Maybe for me, like the helmets were just too busy. I felt like with the lights and stuff, I was just like,
I love the
I mean,
headlights.
I get it. It fits the aesthetic, but
Brother, multifunction right here.
But speaking of that, though, the whole team switch. This is another part of Saban being cheap.
Super cheap.
Jason Ed Frank was like, hey, I kind of want to leave the show at this point. I kind of want to go off and do my martial arts school and just run off in the sunset. And he was like, yeah, that's cool and all. I mean, because if you're not going to give me my raise, let me go. And he was like, oh, that's cool. But like, if you go, everybody else goes. So do you really want to leave?
Yep.
And Jason David Frank was like, I mean, I hate for them to lose their jobs, but yeah, I mean, I'm not happy here. So he was like, all right, cool. So
way to put the heat on
Rocky.
Yeah.
Way to put the heat on Tommy.
Let's get some new people in.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Man, so my suits, I guess I'll go in order. Number 1 being Mighty Morphin because it's the original.
Respect.
But they're just like, again, I'm all for the simple aesthetic, and like the suit was.
The helmets.
The helmets were.
The helmets are
God.
phenomenal.
Yeah.
They
That's
were so
that's a
dope.
case where I will say the helmets are better than the suit.
The Red Ranger, like with like the
Tyrannosaurus?
the teeth in it and the eyes, and like the Green
That's a good
Ranger
one.
suit mirroring that. That was cool. Plus, it kind of mirrored that dynamic between Tommy and Jason being like we're friends, but we're kind of rivals. It's almost like a Goku, I guess, Vegeta situation.
Yeah,
if we're
that's
gonna put it in
good.
anime terms. My second favorite suits, man.
That's a very good question because you got so many good ones.
I'm gonna go with Power Rangers Time Force.
Oh yeah, Time
I think
Force.
that's my
The helmets
next
match
favorite.
the suits.
And they
if
like
I remember correctly.
when they do the morphing sequence, they will like light up in those cool
Yeah.
like lines.
Yeah.
Oh, I love.
God,
Yeah.
they looked so
Damn it,
cool.
Kayden, you done did it again. Now you you brought up the helmet, separated the helmets from the suit, and that's like that's a good one. That's a very good.
It's a solid point. Like Time Force, the helmets match the crest on their chest, and that's like it sinks. It's toyetic because
Joel Schumacher over here, toyetic.
Toyetic. No, I mean
that's big words
for a show that literally only like bankrolled itself off of the toys, like right? Because like they get paid the same deal from fucking Fox Kids every season, or whatever it is at the time, and it's like it's the toys that literally made Power Rangers matter. So and the fact that you could go get them anywhere at that point, they flooded the market. You could get Power Rangers anything you wanted. I had a Morpher cassette tape player at one point.
Fire. That sounds so
that
cool.
That sounds really awesome.
That sounds
I wish
cool.
I had
Look
one
at
of
that.
those. But like it goes back to that, like with the mirroring of the Red Ranger and the Green Ranger, the Quantum Ranger in that season. Those suits and the Red Ranger. And their rivalry. I guess that kind of dovetails in my favorite series.
That's Goku and Vegeta.
But right,
that's Goku and Vegeta there.
My third one. Man, I know you said earlier that you didn't like the in space suits, but I don't know. I loved it as a whole. I don't know. It's just for some reason, like again, I guess maybe I'm just a minimalist when it comes to my suits. Like I don't need super glossy stuff. Those are cool. Q Ranger, I think years later it had like 12 different Rangers in their series. Those suits were cool. But yeah, no.
That's the one where it's like almost looks like a t-shirt because it's like the whole face of an animal or something.
The
one that
they each team had like different designs of
like a Minecraft like square morpher and stuff like that.
It was a Minecraft Megazord. Right.
I remember that one.
But yeah, I don't know, for some reason with my Ranger suits, I like it minimized and just like sleek.
It did look like a t-shirt.
Right? Like if I would have bought that shirt. If it was hanging up at like Target, I would have been like, I'll be a Blue Ranger. Let's move.
I'll get each color and one like they have what?
Their suits
getting all these.
I like their suits, but also I like their out of morphed outfits too. Like when they were on the
uniform
ship. The Mega Astro Mega ship.
See, I like that. The Astro Mega Ship uniform more than I like the suit itself.
Fair enough. I like that.
I love when they have out of suit uniforms. That really pops for me.
Those
SPD, the out of suit uniforms, potentially cooler than the in suit.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Man, I'm gonna do a quick change here and have an honorable mention because it just popped in my head. Zeo would be my honorable mention if I had to throw one in there. Cool. I like those. I like those.
Zeo.
The helmets matched the sides of their number, so like one was a circle because it only has one side or whatever, which I know sounds stupid, but that's true. And then two, because you can't have two sides, it's just a fucking line, is two ovals.
And the weapon was nunchucks, so that was so cool, man. You gotta love the 90s.
Man.
Nunchucks.
So I like my suits different and unique. I love when they do something unique. And we talked about it like earlier when you said Mystic Force. So they had a cape and it was just something that they'd never done before. So a lot of the newer seasons, they tend to do these suits that step outside of the box a little bit. Beast Morphers have great suits, rad helmets. The suits almost look like motorcycle suits, and it's like gives a real cool, unique, leathery vibe that's so outside of that spandex vibe that really. So those are really great suits. I remember seeing Go Buster when it was a Sentai, like the Sentai Go Buster, and seeing those suits and being like, these are so different.
That's a finisher name.
Go Buster?
The Go Buster.
Yeah.
Go Buster!
I mean, that's why I have a Kudu Buster. It's very similar.
It all comes back to wrestling.
Everything's pro wrestling, guys.
Brother.
Everything's pro wrestling.
Everything is pro wrestling. I don't get to hit it because everyone I wrestle is too fucking big.
Oh,
so,
he's talking about me.
I hit it on Wheezy about like 2 or 3 times, and every time I do, the pop is huge.
Yeah.
Anyway, so love that suit. Awful season, great suits, super mega force. We got the pirate suits with the jackets and like the helmets look like pirate ships. They got that phenomenal
the
point
belt too. Like it comes out in the bottom. That's a
super mega force is great suits. The Sentai is amazing. That's why everyone was so upset about how bad Super Mega Force was. It's because it had such a high bar.
That was
Go
also the
Kaiju.
season where they got sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt there. That was the one where they alternated like suits too from previous seasons.
There was almost an upgrade. Yeah, in Super Mega Force, they could be anybody that was
Right.
in their color. Other than God, what was his name? The Black Ranger could be anything that was green or black because he was green and black. But there was a point where I think they all went red or they all went black or something like that.
They'll have those special episodes where they like.
It's all the keys. They're interchangeable.
Morphs, yeah.
Yeah, that season had so much potential. In the Sentai of it's just an absolute amazing watch.
Yeah.
Like if you
Bosco was the villain where he had all the 6 Ranger keys.
Yeah.
And like this trumpet there. Oh, so cool. Yeah, Bosco.
Man.
Look up Bosco. That's a gimmick right there.
that Bosco is
He had the hat with the feather coming. He was so cool. And a trumpet. Who fucking thinks of
Who
it?
needs a
All this. Okay, season talks. Favorite seasons.
Oh, wait a minute. I still got one more to go.
Wait. Sorry to mean to cut you off,
He's
sir.
giving him the go home
Give
here.
it
I want to hear brother's third pick.
Take it home, brother. Your partner's hurt.
Brother, I give the go homes here.
Your time has been cut, sir. We need to go. We need to get there.
I'm the timekeep here unofficially.
Third favorite suit is Dino Thunder. The suits are super. The helmets are super animated. The suits are like almost an over exaggerated play on Mighty Morphin, where like you have those triangles that are teeth, and like it really just like a big characterized version of like a play on Mighty Morphin. But that red helmet comparatively is just so much cooler. It's big teeth chomping through, like compared to a Mighty Morphin Red, and like all 5 of the Rangers just have like these uniquely cool suits that just like
even the Super Dino mode, right?
Even Super Dino mode
each one had a unique variation to the suits.
Yeah,
too. I remember that. And then
they
I
were
remember
like
the animation,
silver where it was white.
Yeah.
Oh, the animation of the mouth closing in on
the
the Red
helmets
Ranger.
roaring.
That's
a
those are a phenomenal suit. Great
tremendous
season.
pick right there. Great season too. Yeah.
Great
Had
season.
Jason David Frank back.
Yeah. That's what got me back into Power Rangers.
Same here.
Somebody said to me, "You know that Tommy's in this one called Dino Thunder," and I was like, "What? Yeah. Okay, I'll give it a watch. I guess."
I remember I saw the commercial. It's like a return of a previous Ranger, and I'm like, oh shit, he's back. All right.
Yeah. And the way it opened too, he was like running in this island, and there was like explosions, and he's jumping around. I'm like, Power Rangers are back, baby. We're here. We got Tommy. We got explosions. We're back.
What a character development too for Tommy's character. He went from being I want to be a race car driver to I'm just gonna go away from being a ranger and become a paleontologist.
Yeah.
I mean, hey, career changes and
Ross.
a lot of
from
school.
Friends.
Cut my hair too.
Yeah.
I didn't like
spiky hair.
I didn't like his gag though. After the end of the first episode, he's like, "I gotta go to shopping." They're like, "What for?" He's like, "I don't have a lot of black in my."
It's such a pop. I popped so big for that because you knew what it was about.
Yeah.
I'm sure there was kids who were watching that season. They're like, "What is that? What does that mean? Is it goth? Is it goth? Fucking
You don't check the scouting reports. We were probably like 10 because I was like, they had the 500th episode, and then they had this video where they just watched every other Power Rangers from before. I thought that was such a cool homage.
The one where they watch the Sentai about the baseball player.
Yes, another one right there. They even crossed over with Sentai.
Yeah,
what was it, Abba
that
Ranger?
might be the only time. Yeah, Abba Ranger.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, that'll be the only time I think.
Yeah. Nothing springs to mind like that.
Maybe Super Mega Force I think Super Mega Force they just
renamed them. They were like, oh, Solar Rangers.
Yeah,
they're the Prism Rangers, the Squadron Rangers.
Yeah, they're just making up bullshit, pulling things out of their ass. They're like, oh, what's that one?
the remote Rangers here.
The Roku Rangers. Cool.
What I did think was neat about those, like the Prism Rangers or the Sonic Boom Rangers, was in the comics from Boom Studios. They gave them all backstories essentially.
Shout outs to Boom Studio. They did justice.
They really filled the holes that everyone was like, well, they're just fucking cheaping out, huh? And they're like, oh, no, wait, we got something for it. What do you know?
Right, like the throwaway line, like, oh, the Morphin Masters did this thing way back in the day. Like, they made that into a whole, like, legitimate, like, lore in there. It's like,
so
yeah,
cool,
there's these
man.
guys who look over the Morphin grid. There's the Morphin Masters of the emissaries. We have the 3 primary colors. Then it's like, I don't know, somebody else came in like, oh, there's 6 emissaries, which was stupid. Stop it. 3 of them, the blue.
Looking for the edge, brother.
Red, and what's the other primary that's mostly
yellow?
Considered? Yes. That's all you needed for the emissary 3, but like,
And
yeah.
like the primary ranger's like, yeah, but we need purple. I'm like, that's not how primary works.
Listen, did you pay attention in our class here?
That was pretty sweet how like the Boom Studios like pretty much tied all that stuff and like
shout
tried to
outs
make
to Boom
coherent
Studios.
lore out of it all. Like SPD is actually out there like patrolling space in the deep out there.
Space Patrol Delta.
Man.
I love SPD. I hate cops, but I love SPD.
yeah.
Speaking of which, your top favorite seasons. So let's get to that.
That's such a hard question.
Okay, well, number 1 is RPM. Number 1 is always going to be RPM for me. I love that season. I could literally start it today and rewatch it 1,000 times over. That season just is so good. It's so dark. Vengex is just such a fucking phenomenal main villain. And he's the only villain that grows and gets more powerful throughout the season, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Like, which is just a really unique thing. It's in a post-apocalyptic world. It's this like childishness of the Zords that look like Tonka toys because they were created by like a 9-year-old. And then these Rangers who like some of the best running jokes of it's not spandex and like stuff like that just keeps repeating throughout the season. Elka being one of the only black red Rangers other than TJ, I think previously was maybe the only other one.
From RPM, so we had TJ.
What about SPD? SPD came
Oh,
after?
SPD did come first. So you get Brandon from SPD. But like it was so limited, you know, and Elko, I mean, especially because they were shooting in New Zealand at that point. So the whole cast was New Zealand, already famous daytime soap New Zealand actors, but like nobody knew besides Ziggy, the Blue Ranger, and Dr. Q.
Blue Ranger had a thick New Zealand accent, which is like such a... Because I remember Xander from Mystic Force, and I'm like, oh, brothers from New Zealand. Oh, man. And then later seasons, you would hear that accent come around again, and it's just like,
wait everyone from
what are we doing here? And then later I would learn that they did primarily all the shooting in New Zealand. And I was like, oh, okay. They're cheap. They're not going to get American actors to shoot in New Zealand.
And I don't think those were even Saban seasons yet.
No.
Those were all Disney era. Those were Disney era, which...
And then, of course, you know, when Haim Saban brought it back, he was like, I like this practice here. Like, these New Zealand actors and all this cheap. Let's continue doing that.
So they would send them for like whatever 2 months to New Zealand to shoot these shows. And I always thought, like, as an adult who loves Power Rangers, it would have been really cool for them to be shooting Power Rangers during the day, but at night, almost like a Real World type series where it's just like the Rangers after dark, but not like in a sex way. I mean, they probably are going to be fucking each other, but like, but you know what I mean? Like,
they're like a dark Batman kind of like like a Power Rangers noir almost kind of concept.
On that note, do you know how bizarre it was though to like turn on the TV and there's an ad for MTV Undress and there's Tommy there?
Oh yeah, Tommy was on MTV. He was the professor. Yeah, I don't know that. What?
Right? I mean, I was too young to watch that, but.
I saw Tommy, so I was like...
So I was trying to watch it, and my mom, who's a bitch, shows up and she's got
what
something...
are you watching here?
The episode.
Oh, it's a new Power Rangers episode. That's a titty.
I think that episode 2 had another Ranger in it, where that was his love interest. There was another ex-Power Ranger on that same episode.
That's what I found about Daredevil. Daredevil had the Red Ranger from RPM.
Yeah,
and the Jungle Fury White Ranger was in there, and Daredevil
was in the Netflix Daredevil.
Yeah,
wow,
yeah. The Rhino from Jungle Fury.
He was in Daredevil, and then
and Elka's in Jessica
Jones. He was the neighbor.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh wow. Okay. Yeah. Now I remember. Now it's all clicking.
Yeah. All right. Okay. So RPM number 1, obviously for me. This is hard. I love Ninja Storm a lot.
Ooh.
I think Dustin may have been one of my favorite characters just ever because he was just so fucking stoned the whole time.
Cool, man. Cool. And he was the Yellow Ranger.
And it was weird that like their like main guy was a hamster.
Yes.
Like that stupid as fuck. But I still was like, this is so fucking cool. It's got great villains. It's got the sisters that are like bickering all the time and trying to impress their dad. The Green Ranger was the Green Samurai Ranger seasons before Samurai. Like, and we had a Green Ranger and Samurai.
Yeah.
And he had a fucking helicopter.
Cam had the helicopter Zord,
Like, it was wild. That was a great season, especially after watching Dino Thunder and being like, all right, now where do I need to go? And I'm like, well, I don't know these guys from the crossover. I better watch their series. So I think that season, like, I'm big on Disney's Power Rangers because I think they just did something special with a lot of these and made them different and unique.
It's a very surfer season right there. Like
it was very X Games.
That could have been on MTV right there. That's an MTV series.
Yeah.
Because I remember to summon, I think it was the Mammoth Zord. You had the guitar. You had the mini Zords, which I thought was like, oh man, I got to collect all of these. Like, cashing in on those toys, man. That's a great season.
And then you had the Thunder Rangers who came in separately, who were almost a Tommy arc where they're these bad guys who are fighting the Rangers and then eventually join the team with them. So it's very reminiscent of that Mighty Morphin Green with the Envy or Green with Evil storyline.
And the colors too, where you had a red and blue Ranger.
You already had red and blue,
you
had the burgundy and navy blue Ranger.
That season would have been if Amit, I can't remember pronounce this dude's last name. I'm just gonna call you Amit. Amit Bomic. We'll go with that. Sounds
Louis
right.
Kaboom.
He tried to do. He pitched that that season was gonna be almost like, I guess to put it in modern context, like an Avengers MCU. We're gonna tie up every loose end from previous seasons.
Yeah, and there was gonna be like Civil War where we're teaming Wind versus Hurricane Rangers.
And they were gonna be and then like Tommy would have gotten the Green Samurai outfit.
Oh, it was gonna be Tommy.
So,
ooh, that would have been fucking tight.
That would have been sick.
But of course,
but what would Jason have been? Powell? Would he have been?
That's right.
Red?
They're supposed to be the leaders of the.
He could have maybe like or they could have done what other seasons they did and make a American centric suit for him.
Yeah, maybe they could have like made a different variant, or maybe he could have just pulled powers from a different series, like like Turbo or Zeo or something. I think the Zeo crystals were never destroyed, right? It was just they were like, hey, here's new powers.
Yeah, they just. I mean, they turned back time. I remember that, but they didn't really explain why the Zeo crystals weren't. Yeah, they were just like, oh, here's some new powers.
But technically, that'll be the strongest Power Ranger team because they directly from the Zeo crystal.
The lore was they get stronger over time.
Yeah.
So like we should technically
almost 30 years later, they should be real damn strong.
Yeah.
Right. So we should still have Power Rangers Zeo X Force edition.
That should be like the top Ranger council deal would be the Zeo Rangers.
But that would have been fascinating to have that like a Civil War before Civil War came out. But again,
it would have been years before.
Haim Saban is cheap. And
it was probably like
whoa,
but
brother.
this was Disney.
This is 8-year-olds, man. What are you getting?
So Disney had the
prop for kids. We need toys.
Disney had just bought the property because they had bought Wild Force halfway through the season. So they finished playing the Wild Force episodes and then they took over. And
let me throw Saban under the bus still.
But also Saban,
that's why we didn't get the crossover.
Cheap ass, so
we'll just blame Saban.
That's why we didn't get a crossover. Yeah.
I was crushed by that. I wanted that Wild Force Ninja Storm.
Yeah.
Man,
crossover
we didn't get that. No. Yeah.
All right, and my third, and I'm sure we're all going to agree on this. It's Time Force. I mean, you can't be a Power Rangers fan without loving Time Force. Great season, great Rangers, fun storyline. They cross time, like 1,000-year gap. And in a way, it works itself into SPD. So it's like multiverse, like.
3000 Silver City, baby.
Wes is just a phenomenal Red Ranger, even though he's not the leader. Jen, first female lead for a Power Ranger series.
Leather jacket too. She was Bret Hart because she was pink and had the black leather jacket.
Yeah.
She was,
and she hated
no
Bill
nonsense.
Goldberg. So
She hated Bill Goldberg.
yeah, she must have hated Bill Goldberg.
great villains too. That season as a whole, just across the board, solid.
On paper, it's like, okay, criminals from the future come to the past.
Mm-hmm.
I think they were cops from the future coming to the past. His direct descendant.
Mm-hmm.
She was in love.
They were time cops. They were Jean-Claude Van Damme.
Pretty much time cops.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's absolutely
Man,
that's a great season.
that was a phenomenal season. I also liked that one episode where Black Ranger. What was his name? I'm blanking on his name. Not Wes. God, what was his name?
There's no
Black Ranger. There's no Black Ranger. There's
In
a
Time Force?
blue and green.
Yeah, blue, green, and then
The dude who like who fancied the cars.
that was the Blue Ranger.
The Blue Ranger. Okay,
Yeah,
what's his
it's
name?
Lucas.
Sorry, Lucas. Okay, he wore black in the first couple episodes. So
Yeah, he wore a
that's why
leather
I'm drawing
jacket
a blank.
most of the time.
Yeah, blue
yeah.
turtleneck, right?
Lucas took out Rancic's daughter, and like I liked how that was a funny
Madeira.
episode where like
Yeah.
Rancic's trying to give him advice and like help him out on this date
Yeah.
because it's like, all right, it's gonna make my daughter happy, so like I'm gonna deal with this.
Absolutely, that's
What
Power
a,
Rangers.
He
what a
was-
hilarious.
He
episode.
got signed to do the show when he was still 17. Michael Copan, and they couldn't start shooting until his 18th birthday. So they had everything set up and they were running lines and all this, but they couldn't start shooting for some reason until his 18th birthday. So like that season got put back on like a small hold. Yeah. He was also on That's So Raven. He was in a boy group.
Oh my
hysterical.
God, he was.
Wow.
I gotta text my little brother that. that's
Talk about
so
blast from
wild.
The past on that one. Do you know how? Oh, speaking of that, do you know how wild it was for me to watch Power Rangers like in the morning and then like at nights on Saturday nights, Space Cases.
Oh yeah, with
Space
Zach.
Cases.
Yes.
Yeah, with Zach. Yeah,
With Walter Jones on that show, and
Yeah.
he had like the braids, and it's like, wait, he's got a high top, and then suddenly, like out of nowhere, he's got the braids again.
Yeah.
Or no, he had the high top in Space Cases.
Yeah.
He went through a vortex, and then he had braids
Yeah.
to like kind of just like.
There was that
wow,
one
that was
alien chick that had like the rainbow, like rocket pop hair. I thought that was
Yeah.
so cool. I love Space Cases. I actually, so when I started investing into the Space Captain character, I was gonna name my fans the Space Cases, and I had made, like stamps and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And I think I started working somewhere, and they put me in some group, and then I just dropped it.
Yeah.
Man,
Which
lost,
I should
lost
have.
the time.
Yeah.
But no,
Space
man, time
Cases.
for it. So do we agree?
I think we all agree Time Force
Yes.
is in the top 3.
That too.
That's on my list.
But as far as like canon, would you consider Time Force and SPD? Like,
They're connected. They're 100%
sister,
connected.
sister groups?
Yeah, there's literally a spot in SPD where Sky is looking at a photo of his dad, and his dad is in a Time Force uniform, no helmet.
Yeah. And then they had the space helmets too, so it'd be space, SPD, and then Time Force.
And that season even morphed another season of the show. Technically, well, I'll put that in quotations because it was a weekly YouTube series on Hyper RPG where they did like a tabletop RPG. Yeah. It was called Power Rangers Hyperforce, and it was a continuation of Time Force, essentially. And like Paul Schreier, Bulk, played the Yellow Ranger on that show.
Big Bulk,
So that was
baby.
that was neat too. How like they continue that. I think that is one of my favorite arcs, and it's also produced some of my favorite comics from Boom.
Yeah,
Boom also did an original graphic novel called Sins of the Future, where Jen and Wes try to make their relationship work.
Yeah.
And then a mysterious black Chrono Ranger comes out of nowhere. It was like, "Hey, Jen Scott, you ruined my life. I'm gonna kill you." She's like, "I don't even know who you are." He was like, "Too bad.
Too bad, bitch.
I'm just gonna ruin your life."
Brother, what's the gimmick
It was,
here?
man, it's
What's the
it's
heat,
such a good
pal?
read. But like, I feel bad for anybody who may not remember that season because when you try to read that book,
Yeah.
like you got to know almost every detail of
It's
the show. But
hands
like, oh
down.
man, that's such a great season.
One of the greatest seasons.
Aaron Nova.
Time Force is definitely on that list.
Okay.
Just to piggyback off of what Kayden
Absolutely.
was saying here. Another key thing. This is right after the Matrix.
Yeah.
Yes.
So
The big Zord fight. Yeah.
the
Full
visual
time?
effects in this show, I think, were like it'll melt my face. Like all the cool, and then like I remember the promotional stuff too, like the bumpers on Fox Kids and stuff like that. Just that like futuristic style, and then the fight scenes, like from the fight scenes as the Power Rangers and the fight scenes as the Zords, I think just face melters. Great villains, like you said. Like I had Frax early on the show. I think his lore was incredible. Eric's character development as the Quantum Ranger. I think the Quantosaurus Rex is like
it's a top 3 Zord period.
Top 3. Like it's such a, like he had to tame it, and it was voice. And I remember the toy was. I remember being in Toys R Us, and then they were displaying the fall line for Power Rangers, and she had the Q-Saurus Rex, and she was like, "Look, it's even voice activated with the Morpher," and I was like, "Oh, Mom!" And it was like $84, and she was like, "Yeah, no." So, great season. That's on my list, and so in no particular order here. Time Force definitely on there.
Yep.
Space is on there for me because it was the end of the Zordon era. From beginning it, like the story that led here. Now we're in space now, and then the character's backstory with Andros and Astronomer and Zane being like Captain America almost. I love space. I love the villains. I love the stories. I love how it ended in Countdown to the Destruction. The crossover with the Ninja Turtles, even though they didn't get the voice actors.
No, because they were Canadian actors.
Yeah. That was like a huge milestone. Like, oh, since Mighty Morphin, it's like, oh, what if the Power Rangers and the Ninja Turtles cross? And then they did. And, which I loved. I had an argument the other day in this group chat about how Next Mutation they didn't like it. And I was like, are you crazy? Like that, I think that style of show was so awesome because the anamorphic villains like the gorilla and stuff I thought it was just fantastic. But space is on there.
I hated that episode because, man, use wrestling terms here, they kind of jobbed out the Ninja Turtles. I felt a little bit in the middle there. I felt they kind of made them look like rubes. Just a little bit. I'm just like, come
the Turtles handed them their ass in the beginning.
Right, but like on the spaceship. I don't know.
And that was
Maybe
a kind of a two-parter, right? If I remember correctly, it was like Raph showed up at the end of one episode, and then like Cassie ran into him or something, and then like
I know
it was like
Astronomer was like, we need some different help, and then she pulled him out from the sewers, and they're like, where the hell are we right now?
So
cross country.
I'm pretty sure like the writers had detailed like plots to these episodes, but I'm positive Saban or whoever was in charge like, I don't care about character development.
Fuck the Ninja Turtles.
I need to sell these toys. Like if these will boost the sales of the toys for Next Mutation, throw them all on there.
It's not.
We don't need voice actors. I need these toys sold. All right. They're not buying voice actors. They're buying turtles.
The storyline you want to do, it doesn't work for me.
Yeah. So it had so many unique. It had that. It had the episode with Justin. From Turbo, bringing him back. You had the Psycho Ranger storyline, which I think is mind blowing at that time because you had evil Rangers in the past, but never as powerful as the Psycho Rangers.
You also had Carlos come back, right? Or no, not Carlos to come back. Adam come back and use the broken morpher.
Yeah. Oh yeah, that was a really cool episode.
They were like, hey, that you might not want to do that because that might kill you. And he's just like, I gotta do it.
Fuck, I gotta do what I gotta do.
Which was so awesome.
That's storytelling right there. To sacrifice your own to help your friend here.
But they couldn't have a crossover season because most of the cast from Space is the cast from the back end of Turbo.
Yeah.
So all they could do is bring back Justin, who obviously his parents aren't going to let him. His parents are going to let him fight monsters with the Power Rangers, but his parents are like, "Whoa, we draw the line at going to space."
Yeah, like giant monsters. You can't go to space. You got to finish school. And
doing karate in the park with people who are probably in their 20s? Sure, fine, okay.
Surely hanging around these 20-year-olds.
Not happening. Not going to space, kid.
God, how different that season would have looked if they would actually made that a continuation of Turbo. Because like originally, they were all going to go to space.
Yeah. Well, Turbo they lost.
There wasn't going to be. It's
the first season that they lost.
Yeah, that was that's why I like Turbo so much because it was hardcore. It was the opposite. Like you had this established tone of Power Rangers, and they just threw all that out of the window.
A space pirate diva pop star beat the frickin' Rangers.
Awesome.
Man.
And she was married to Eclipse. What was it?
No,
Dark Spectre.
Not Dark Spectre. She was not Ecliptor. What was it? Malgor.
Malagor.
Malagor. Because I love that joke in space. She's like, "Hey, remember me? You remind me of my ex-husband."
Yeah.
They just repurposed the suit.
Because the movie and the movie and then the show did not. They weren't in the same universe. It was like it wasn't canon.
They gave TJ the Rocky treatment in space. It's like he shows up and he's like, "Hey, now you're second fiddle." And he's like, "Fuck, man."
Man.
But I love space because I think like I would put Turbo like the middle of Turbo and Space into like one season, even though it's two different. Like
the TJ Cassie.
There was so much character development from Turbo to Space, and I enjoyed it. How it ended, Countdown to Destruction, one of the greatest. But like the official ending of Space had the Hummer.
God,
the Hummer villain.
Oh my God! Yeah, I was watching that the other day. We're getting through these episodes. You know, Astronema is teeter-tottering on being whether she's good or evil, and the last episode before the ultimate, like, hey, this is the end of Power Rangers. They're being terrorized by a fucking Hummer.
Evil Hummer, brother.
An evil Hummer. Like, who's behind the wheel? Kevin Nash, Eric Bischoff? We don't know,
we
but
don't
it's
know.
chasing them down.
It was
that's
Rikishi.
such a wild thing. It's like, so they were trying to save their they were trying to save the budget for the last 2 episodes for Countdown to Destruction. Yeah. And like Haim Saban was like, we're not giving you any more. Sorry. You just do with what you got.
It was a
matter of fact, wash my Hummer. And they were like,
Hummer, that's it. That's what
Hummer,
it is.
Yeah, that's
cool.
it.
That'll be the villain for this episode.
It was Rikishi, man. He did it for The Rock. He did it for the people, brother.
I did it for the Shadama. I did it for the evil empire.
Space is on that list. And then third.
Wait, wasn't that your third?
No, that was my second.
Okay.
So Time Force, of course.
Time Force, yes.
Then you got to have space.
Okay, in space.
Third one.
Drum roll.
Man, there's so many good ones, but I got to go back to the one that just really locked my heart in. That was the 3rd season of Mighty Morphin.
Yeah.
With Ninjetti. I love Ninjor. I love the ninja suits. I love the fight scenes as ninjas and their powers and stuff like that. I had such a special, like the movie had such a special place in my heart because it was like, oh my God, this is my big moment. This is my movie here. This is for me, you know?
I remember like opening weekend when that came out, like if the theater I went to had 15 screens, 13 of them had that movie playing at once.
It was, it was a short movie too, but it was like, watch it back now. Like I still love it, you know, but when I get into these like debates online about it, it's just like when like the new Power Ranger movie came out, there were these comparisons and I'm like, brothers, listen, look at the first one. They went to space to become ninjas.
They skydived to the Red Hot Chili Peppers.
Make it make sense. How is this movie like?
The opening scene was the same opening scene as Mighty Ducks 2. They're just roller skating through the park.
Oh, yeah, they were roller skating, yes.
Oh, you just blew my mind.
Oh,
God.
man, yeah, they were.
That's hysterical. We're getting the band back together. Even the band's all there.
Yeah.
But that's hilarious, though. Yeah, like the season 3 of Power Rangers, they get the Ninjetti powers. Yeah. And the Ninjor helps him, is like the creator of it and gets him to him. But like in the movie, they go to like... Phaedos, Dulcia helps him get it, who like had 2 different actresses, but
Law and Order,
Marissa
Hargitay.
I can't even say that.
Mariska Hargitay.
I loved season 3, and
I'm
then
a frog.
Oh yeah,
man. That dude got no love.
I kind of wish that when Turbo happened, he was like, I got a minivan. And they're like, come on, Adam.
Come on, dude. This is 2 seasons now.
Like everyone else is like, I've got a race car. Oh, I've got a Jeep. Adam, you got a minivan. I got a minivan?
Yeah,
seriously?
He got
and then like Dulcia shows up and she's like, yeah, like the one you lose your virginity in.
Oh.
Well,
that took a turn.
Well, you know, she's like, she pops up and she's like, yeah, you're a frog, like the ones you kiss and it becomes a prince. But it's like they get real fucked up.
They really
a minivan, you know, like the one I lost my virginity in.
They all try to sell him on this stuff. But season 3.
Okay, let's back to that.
I love it. And then it's my favorite Sentai series is Kaku Ranger, which is the counterpart to season 3. So season 3 is like, it's booked backwards from the Japan version, which the Alien Rangers in the States. And I felt like, that's another reason why I love season 3. I love the Alien Rangers. Yeah. I love that concept.
I always thought that wasn't season 3. That was its own like mini series.
Yeah.
Because they had their own theme song. even though it was like in the world. And I mean, they had their own theme song. I say that when they just replaced fucking two words.
Yeah, they just changed it from.
What a strange planet too. Like,
Aquitar.
Yeah, it's basically.
We need water. I mean, doesn't every living being essentially need water?
Yeah.
Like, what makes you so special?
Do you see our brains? I love the costumes. I love the Aquarian uniform and stuff like that.
I always love the little hand gestures they did. Like when they were doing the little
triangle thing. Yeah, there was their aliens, brother.
They're aliens. Cool. They're always holding their hands weird.
Right?
What? That's how you know they're aliens?
Yeah, they came from another planet to help out.
Yeah. You know, like, whoa.
And they came back in Zeo with the evil purse monster. I love it because the sillier the better at this point.
Of course.
The purse head?
The same planet that Billy needed to go to because he was like, I gotta leave my home planet, guys. I'm staying
Zeo.
here.
He left the Aquitar. I just love that season for many reasons. The ninja suits, the connection to Hayabusa and wrestling, and
wasn't that the same season where they did the Wild West? They went back in time.
Yeah, the Wild West
Kimberly?
episode. Yeah.
The White Stranger.
Yeah.
But yeah, season 3. That'll be my third one. What you got?
Okay. Yeah. Number 1. I guess in no particular order. Time Force. Like we've all said, it's a great season.
It's literally one of the best. If you haven't watched Time Force, you haven't watched Power Rangers.
Again, that is Power Rangers.
When you make a Power Rangers like related thing, and people are like, "Yeah, nothing's better than season 1." You're like, "No, literally, almost all of it is better than season 1."
Everything. Season 1 is not good. It was the first one.
Well,
season 3 was great. Season 1 was. Season 2 is way better than season 1.
Yeah, it only got better, and then. Nickelodeon era.
Jen Scott being the leader, quote unquote, or the actual leader.
Frankie Chan.
You know.
Remember Frankie Chan versus the ant people?
Oh man. But I love the whole story, and like Alex coming back and then like, we're not really riding with you. He's like, no, like I'm in charge here. You guys need to whip up. And then it's like, we're gonna wipe your memories. You never were in the past, but like that season was a lot of fun. In space, immaculate. I loved, Andros' story. Okay, I got to find my lost sister, Corone, and then Corone's Astronema. And, that whole storyline with Ecliptor and Darkonda, and, Ecliptor having a soft spot for Astronema. It's like, I'm going to protect her. And, man, but Countdown to Destruction, I remember watching that. It was, like, so sad. Like, I think 8 years old being like, this is it. This is the end of Power Rangers. This is over. What's going to happen now? Like, what am I going to watch? Because, I was already at that phase where everyone was like, oh, my God, you watch Power Rangers? I mean, granted, I'm like 8 years old. So, like, what's wrong with an 8-year-old watching Power Rangers?
I did a project in high school about Power Rangers.
But, man, like...
I never forget my roots, damn it.
Right? That season was just so good. But, like, I felt like Countdown to Destruction might, if Saban would have given them the budget and people would have came back, I would have liked to have the originals come back, like a Jason or even Tommy, and like them, like that reveal at the end where like I'm the Ranger, no, I'm the Ranger. All right, kill them all, and it's like no, we're the Power Rangers. And Vulcan Skull being like them, like that'd have been
character
so perfect
development.
If it had been Billy, Zach, Trini,
character development,
but man,
brother.
that season was so good too, like, and the end of Zordon. Until I guess they kind of tease him in the previous season of Power Rangers, this last one, which I can't remember the name of right now.
Super
Dookie Force.
super poo poo babies.
Super
I don't even remember the season.
But that's all that, like they always bring in somebody back.
Cosmic Fury.
Okay, yes.
Dino Fury.
Because Zados dies, and like they kind of tease him being back because they're in like I guess the morphin grid, and he's like, "Oh, I remember what I used to say in times like this. May the power protect you." And then Billy is like, "Wait a minute.
Yeah.
If he said that, that means Zordon must be out there because Billy God bless Billy. I mean, I wonder if he was still in Aquitar, but then that doesn't make sense because the Aquitar Rangers fought." In the Countdown to Destruction. So it's like, man, where were you at?
It was all over like the universe because they had the Gold Ranger and the Blue Centurion.
But like, God, I must feel bad for Billy. Like Billy's off and away in a foreign planet and then comes home and is like, Zordon's dead. Man.
Yeah.
This sucks. I gotta find him.
It's like going out on tour and you come back and like, oh yeah, BT way, your dad died.
Man.
It's
and then of course his his arc of I gotta find him in Once and Always, and then in Cosmic Fury he's still around being I'm still searching for Zordon.
I couldn't get into it, man. I didn't watch Once and Always.
I
couldn't get into it.
All right, Once and Always was an interesting, weird thing because it's made for the adults who were in love with Power Rangers and were so obsessed with Power Rangers as kids. But it still got the campiness. So it's all right, is this for us? Is this for little kids? Who's this for?
Yeah. It was more of that Easter egg. It's like the way you watch it's the way I watched Hocus Pocus 2. Yes. I had no fucking... I was like, this is not going to be good.
Couldn't do that one either.
And I'm like, this isn't going to be good, but I'd love to see a couple of Easter eggs. I want a couple of throwbacks. I want something that literally makes me go that's from the first one. Cool. I'm glad I wasted 2 hours of my life.
I did like it. I think it was kind of neat how Adam and Aisha were part of the proto SPD.
Yep.
That was pretty neat.
I just saw that.
They made a lot of references to the whole series of Power Rangers, not just hey, remember that time we fought Punchy Pig and gave him a fucking pepper?
Oh, man.
Brother, that's the only thing you ever talk about.
You don't know real Power Rangers back in my day.
It's a little weird because Tommy's in the episode, but he's not in the episode because Jason David Frank, who was alive at the time, didn't want to come back for it.
Yeah.
But he gets kidnapped. Trini gets killed. But I know David Yost was trying to write the series and pitched for let's base the story around that kind of. Why is that so funny?
Because I couldn't get past that first scene.
Robot Rita.
Yes, I was just no. Did anybody watch Countdown to Destruction? Yeah. And this is the same thing with
them bringing back Lord
Overdrive.
Zed. Okay, but
he had a son. You can't do that.
You didn't watch the episode though, so or the special. Because Billy is searching for Zordon because they destroyed the Z-Wave, but his particles are out there in space.
He's trying to create a machine that sucks them back in.
Yeah, but he ends
up space vacuum.
He ends up getting Rita Repulsa's, ethereal spirit, the evilness of her, and it invades Alpha whatever, Alpha 8, whatever they're on at that point, and it becomes Robo Rita. I liked that. That was neat. It's because again, it goes back to me saying Billy must have felt like such an asshole to be off in a distant planet, come back and Zordon's dead. Jason's gone somewhere. I don't know where he's at. Zach's disappeared. Trini, God knows where. What's going on with my
So
world?
piggyback off that. So originally in space, what was it? Ecliptor. His original story was going to be that Billy created him.
Oh.
And as this, essentially Ultron, he created him to protect, and then he becomes self-aware and then becomes evil and stuff like that. But they scrapped that because Billy wasn't coming back.
Yeah, right. I remember he was also the people speculated that he was going to be the Phantom Ranger.
Yeah, that was the big speculation.
What a weird, bizarre. Okay, as much as I love In Space, what a bizarre storyline where Cassie just falls in love with this enigmatic figure. She's she don't know who's underneath that mask. For all you know,
mysterious.
It's Bulk or Skull.
Yeah.
God, that would be hilarious.
They take it off and it's Skull, and he's like, "Hey, baby."
Yeah. Oh, plot twist.
He gets his moment in the sun in the Boom comics where he becomes the Red Ranger essentially in the coinless world.
Oh, okay. All right.
He becomes the Red Century Ranger, which is interesting. That
Boogersaurus.
Man, God, that whole
remember that?
Yeah. Boom comics, man, good.
Yeah, shout outs to Boom, man. Make a comic about
my third season. Man, y'all kind of poo pooed it, and it's okay. But again, nothing beats the original in a sense. I love season 1. I love that team. I mean, sorry, Jason's my guy.
I do. I enjoy. It's not that I don't like the first season. I just think.
I mean, comparatively to the rest,
there's so many better seasons.
There's a lot more, and it had its high point. It was the first season, and it had its high points.
But that's just for me. I mean, you can't. For me, that's that's my nostalgia kicking in.
Yeah,
which is fine. I just don't like how they kept going back to that.
I always got a kick out of though when Jason was morphed. He had a Batman voice. He got really deep. He was like, "All right, guys, let's go!"
He was intense.
Just this deep voice, but when he's outside, he's chill. But he was kind of.
It's a Red Ranger, brother. Yeah. He was intensity.
He had as a teenager, he had the bench press world record too, I think, or maybe the Angel Grove record.
Angel Grove, but he did. It was 200 times he put up 225, and I'm like, nobody does that.
No.
Wait, hold on. This is before or after the powers?
This is after the powers.
But
Okay,
even
then,
when he's
yeah.
unmorphed, though, they
He
don't
was
have
really
He's
powers.
unmorphed. He's not in suit doing it.
Yeah.
He's like, oh, 199, 200, and then they zoom. Then like they cut scene, and he like the one that he's put down has got like 245s on each side.
Yeah.
And you're like, that was a broomstick.
Right, and then I think Bulk was trying to beat the record too. That was the challenge. Like you,
Yeah.
beat
Two
my record.
jabronis from Angel
Man.
Grove just breaks this world record here.
But that goes to all right. That goes. You bringing that up? Was he morphed or unmorphed, or like was that before or after the powers?
Yeah.
That's my biggest pet peeve. The 2017 movie is that when they're unmorphed, they have super strength. That kind of defeats the freaking purpose of having the goddamn suits.
I think that theory is like it's the Batman theory where Bruce Wayne could go beat anybody's ass in his nice $3,000 suit, but he puts on the Batman outfit because it's scary and it does it strikes fear in the hearts of villains.
Right.
I mean, I don't know about a yellow and white spandex outfit striking
But them
fear.
having super strength and not morphed, I don't know. That just is kind of a pet peeve
But they
for
had
me.
that in Dino Thunder. They had powers.
Yeah, they had
outside
powers.
Of
They had
the
magic and
Right,
mystic
yeah,
force.
I mean, the Yellow Ranger in Time Force, she had super strength, but I don't know.
yeah, she
I don't know,
did.
something
Yeah.
about that just rubs me the wrong way, especially if we're going with the original team.
Yeah.
But man, the movies though, I did love the original movie suits; those were cool. But that what a nothing burger of a movie, kind of, because it's like we had a morph fight. And then we're going off to space. We're gonna train.
We're selling
for a whole
toys, brother.
movie,
That's all we're
right?
doing. We're not writing the next Citizen Kane over here.
We're not.
But then Turbo.
We're not trying to impress you. We're trying to impress your parents into buying you this stuff.
Yeah.
But then Turbo seems to be more lackluster than that first movie, and it's like, man.
I just
The
wanted them.
Megazord was different in Turbo too.
But there was going to be apparently a wicked fight on the pirate ship with phantom ghost pirates. None of that was in the movie.
Should have been tight.
Brother.
And,
There's a lot of
man.
I love when those stories come out because it goes back to that producer room when the dude's like, listen, these are 8-year-olds. These are kids.
They don't give a fuck.
They don't need all this. I'm not spending money on all this.
But I was just bored. I remember being bored in that Turbo movie, man. I was thinking, this is nothing like the first movie.
The 3-on-3 karate fight.
That's also a weird continuity thing because, the first movie is its own little pocket universe. It's like it's Power Rangers, but it's not in continuity. Turbo the movie is in canon to the show,
Sort of.
but then they redo it. But they show it. They clip show it in the first episode of Turbo, but then they kind of redo some of the other stuff in there too.
Yeah.
But and they reuse Malgore for Dark Spectre and In Space.
Malgore.
I think.
That 3-on-3 fight though for the martial arts tournament
Where he falls out the ring and breaks his back. And I'm like, yo, this is intense. What sport is this? Where do they do this at?
Are there tag outs or anything?
That was just the scene from That Thing You Do, where the guy jumps over the pole and breaks his arm, and they're like, the fucking idiot broke his arm. And in this case, they were like, oh, we could use that. That's a good move here.
That's even hilarious too, because Steve Cardenas says he goes to conventions and everybody asks, well, how's your back? He's like, it's fine. I wasn't really hurt, guys. It was a story. Instead of him being peace conferenced, he's just Batman.
Yeah,
He's
his
in
back's
jail.
broken.
He's in fucking the hospital, and everyone's like,
all those
hey,
powers
man, I wish you
didn't
could have
protect
came,
that.
but instead we brought a 7-year-old with us.
Yeah, what's Zordon's criteria too? Because Zordon's like,
Well, I mean, the original idea was teenagers with attitude, right? And they were all teenagers, but how many of them really had attitude? We had one episode where they went bad, and Billy was a badass, right?
Yeah.
That's the only time they had attitude. If not, they were like, all right, let's go
they're
fight.
really good.
Sounds
They're
good.
He was a dork.
All right.
Yeah, he was the scientist.
They're
They
like
had a-
teenagers with attitude. By the way, we're cleaning up the park later.
Yeah.
They have matching shirts.
Jason had attitude.
Jason's teaching karate classes at the juice bar.
He made sense. Trini made sense because she kicked ass too.
Does Tai Chi
But
philosophy.
they were
good
fucking
against.
Kimberly and Billy were just gymnasts.
Yeah.
They weren't even, they had no training in martial arts prior to the show. And you could tell during the show too, because they were like, oh my God, what are we doing? Flip karate. What do you do in this point? Hey, he's throwing punches at me. I better do a backflip.
Oh my God.
Hip Hop Keto. That was great.
Hip Hop
That's cool.
Keto's rad.
That was cool.
Man.
Just to go back to that
But Zordon's just you found out they're Power Rangers. I guess we'll make you.
Yeah, that just makes it easier than finding another guy.
Don't say nothing, kid, because they're absolutely going to believe an 8-year-old that he knows who the identity of the Power Rangers are.
The funny thing was, too, in the movie, like, Justin was going to have like a really dark storyline. I mean, I know they kind of allude to it. His mom's dead. Mm-hmm. But like I think his dad was gonna be dead too. Originally,
is he just living on the streets?
He's
Bruce Wayne.
Boy.
He's the Bruce Wayne of Power Rangers.
Fell down a well and he's been living in there.
yeah.
And his whole mission in the movie was gonna be, I gotta help this little wizard guy get his family back because I don't have a family. He needs his.
Oh man, the wizard. But just so I saw this. I don't know if you've seen the Russian MMA thing where it was like 5-on-5.
Yeah.
So I saw that on Facebook and I immediately thought of like, oh my God, Turbo was right. This is a real sport. The 3-on, and it's like you would think all this alien technology.
Who was the was Jason the third too in their squad at the end of that movie?
Yes. Yeah, Jason I think takes his place.
So yeah, it was Tommy,
to help them win,
Adam and Rocky. Not Rocky. Tommy, Adam, and Jason. Mm-hmm. Man. And then, of course, he's there. Well, how come crutches? My back's broke, but
all these powers, they couldn't heal his broken back. I didn't get it.
Yeah.
Man.
I didn't get it, man.
What was your favorite toys? Is there any particular one that you like played with the most?
Flip heads.
The flip head.
Yes. I think we couldn't find red, and my mom bought black for me because that was the only one they had in store. It was like they had yellow and they had black. And I remember she was like, well, which one do you want? I'm like, well, I want a boy, I guess. So I had Zach, even though Zach, now I look back on it, Zach may have been my favorite Ranger from the season. But like, when you're 10 years old, like fucking, it's all about the Red Ranger. He's the leader. You want to be the Leonardo of the group.
I had the Tommy and the Jason flip head ones.
Yeah.
Those were cool. I remember also, I made my mother go to McDonald's almost every other day to get like
the Happy Meal toys?
The Happy Meal toys for the movie. Mm-hmm. And I remember I one time I was like, I already got the red one. And like we asked the lady at the window to like, can you please find another Ranger one for it?
Yeah.
Like I was like, no, I'm not getting the same one. And I had the whole set.
I remember as a kid thinking those were going to connect and make the Megazord.
God, that'd have been so cool.
They did it with Megaforce.
Oh.
McDonald's did it with Megaforce, and you could get all of them. They connected, and I remember this like 10 years ago or so. I had a buddy who worked at McDonald's. He was like a manager, and I was like, "Can you get me all of them? Because I want them." And he's like, "All right, yeah, swing by and buy 4 Happy Meals because you have to buy the Happy Meal to get it." And I'm like, "Yeah, fine, whatever." Or buy 5. So I bought 5, and he's like, "We don't have black." And I went to like 4 different McDonald's looking for the Black Ranger toy. Couldn't find it. I ended up buying it off of eBay just so I could put the damn thing together.
Yeah. Oh man.
Just to complete the set.
Yeah.
Favorite toy.
I didn't even like that season.
No.
I was big on the Morphers as a kid. I loved them so much that in middle school, and mind you, I went to school in the Bronx. All right.
Did you beat up another kid just to get his Morpher?
Oh no.
I mean,
quite the opposite.
I didn't get about being in the Bronx. You're like, I found this kid.
I didn't get beat up, but I got made fun of because I remember wearing my Dino Morpher, the Dino Thunder, because you get to switch them out.
Yeah.
I wore that to school one day, and I remember I had the blue Triceratops on. And they're like, "Is that a watch?" It was like, "Are you wearing a Morpher?" And then this was middle school. I want to say this was 7th grade. God, I'm so sorry, guys. I loved it so much.
12?
6 or 7th
12, 13?
grade. Whatever.
Man, live your truth. Yeah. Hey.
Oh my God. And these kids are a-holes, man, especially in middle school when they
you're 13 walking around with a Morpher on.
Yeah, well, I thought it was cool. It was dumb, I thought people, which I'm pretty sure people were like closet fans of Power Rangers.
But it wasn't cool.
Kids wouldn't had an issue, maybe.
But I was big on the Morphers. I love the Chrono Morpher.
That's a great Morpher.
But overall toy, I remember my number 1 pick will definitely be Lunar Wolf with the motorcycle.
Oh.
I remember I had that toy, and the articulation on that toy was so fantastic. Because I know the arms move, but the legs, because you got to open it up to put them on the bike.
Yeah.
That was probably one of my favorite toys. Like in my little figure fed, world champ right there. Lunar Wolf. That'll be probably my top. Megazord toys, because Morphers, Megazords, the 6-inch figures. I remember having all of
the triangle box ones.
Yeah, I remember having all of like full complete sets. I had in space. I had Time Force because the GOAT season, and Wild Force. But mainly my Morphers, and I love the Time Force gun set.
Yeah.
Because you could connect all of it, and I used to run around the house. Megazord though it's got to be the Solaris Knight train Megazord. I still have that up in my room right now. That's like my prize, because that's like one of my favorite Megazords right there.
My favorite toys was the weapons from the Mighty Morphin era. I had the whole thing that you put them together, it makes the power blaster.
Yeah.
God, I played with those things, and then like I took such good care of them too. And I remember like I had my first nephew. He we passed down the toys.
Yeah.
And like he immediately broke the power bow at one time, and I remember I looked and I got so like incredulous in my mind, just like this survived how many years of me owning it? I give it to you
for 5 minutes,
and the clips break because
one day
you can't handle it. And he's like 3 years old. He has no concept of this stuff. I'm just like looking at him, just
Can't
like,
do it.
come on. He also broke my. I had the Ninjetti figures.
Yeah. I had them.
He
too.
broke Rocky. He broke the leg. He broke leg.
That was the one that kicks. Yeah. Oh no, the Yellow Ranger kicks.
But like at the same time though, I guess like also at the time, like I mean, it's probably like 7-8 years have passed, and like maybe it's been in the attic for a little while, so like heat might also have to play in like
I love the
wear and
Ninjetti
tear of
toys.
those figures. But man,
Billy the disc launcher.
I had as far as
it's a little Nazi looking.
Nazi salute with that. As far as morphers go, the only 2 morphers I had was the turbo with the key and all that, and the space. I love how it like 3, 5.
Yeah,
I found that funny too. Speaking of which, because at times Saban was cheap and like they'd lose props, they would just have them run to the store and buy a morpher.
Yeah,
if we need it for a scene. It's like oh shit, like hey. We don't have the in space morpher. Go to Walmart, buy one.
Well,
who's gonna know the difference?
Until Disney, it was the toy morphers from the Sentais were just, they would just reuse the molds for the American toys. Disney shrunk everything down for who knows, or I guess to say plastic or something. But like
over here,
you would think
Saban being a cheap ass doesn't want to create new molds for these toys.
Yeah,
we'll just rebox the Japanese ones.
Hell yeah,
more 8-year-olds. Soon the 8-year-olds will become 9-year-olds, and those 7-year-olds. That's where we got them right there, because they're going to become 8-year-olds. We just got to recycle it.
So, as far as Power Rangers as a whole goes, the series ended after Cosmic Fury. There's supposed to be a reboot, but Paramount or whoever, Hasbro, announced that like they're withdrawing from Netflix, and they might go with somebody else to make a new series.
Peacock?
The Boom Comics ended their run, but it turns out they're coming back with Power Rangers Prime, and it's going to follow Lauren Shiba. So the red samurai, right?
Oh,
sure. Yeah, they're going to follow her for a little bit. She's on the run in Angel Grove. But like, would you rather a continuation of let's call it the original, I guess, the original series with another season, and it's going to be all new because Hasbro was like, if we're going to do another season, continuing that, we're going to do original Zords, original suits, no Sentai footage. What do you think? Wait, like.
But that's what Cosmic Fury was, right? Wasn't it like the first?
Cosmic Fury was the Thai version of. Okay,
I know the suits were their suits were original. Are they custom?
Yeah, they're like modified for for a different country for some reason. I want to say it was Thailand, but it was their version of whatever Dino Charge was.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then Netflix changed the suits, but it's the same helmets.
Yeah.
So
I don't know. I just feel like Japan had a system. Like, why would you steer away from that system?
It's just such a good, like the new seasons of the Sentai are all great.
Yeah.
They've got really cool, unique stuff, and it all lands so well with what's currently hot in America, right?
Yeah.
I mean, maybe not Tokyuger, which is my favorite Sentai. It's a train season, and America doesn't fuck with trains, so like it makes sense. Maybe in the UK it would have been fine, but like America doesn't mess with trains. But like we were saying, the season that looked like Roblox came out right when Roblox was super fucking hot, and Japan just gets it. They're like, what's hot right now? This, and we're going to do a season that fits it and makes sense. So why wouldn't America want to do that?
To piggyback off that, Zoo Ranger was due to the popularity of the Jurassic Park book. Oh, so it was due to Jurassic Park's popularity that they switched to dinosaurs in that series. So they were just cashing in, and 97 up to Mega Ranger was like the boom of computer video games,
right?
Which led to that. Oh man, that's
for me.
that's good
brother. I mean, like we said, like, Harry Potter, Mystic Force.
Yeah.
For me, like, as far as the future of Power Rangers, if I had it my way.
Wait, hold on 1 second. Do all dinosaur Power Ranger series line up with Jurassic Park releases?
No, I think so. I think it was originally the book because the movie came out.
94 maybe.
Yeah, way later. But the book was like really big.
Book was hot, and then they had the
Wouldn't
more
that be trippy though if the seasons
they all line
aligned
up
with.
Because I feel like Dino Charge lines up with Jurassic World.
Yeah,
time frame wise, right?
Could be. Let me see.
Possibly.
But we all got to think like Sentai is like a year before,
a year ahead.
Right.
So like that's why you can almost say like if it was whatever 2010, it was 2009.
Dino Charge.
See,
so 2014, Jurassic World.
I know if they do the reboot, it's inevitably going to be probably another a Mighty Morphin team.
Yeah, 2015.
Of that.
Yeah, 2015. So that's when Jurassic World got released.
So it's like the hype around it.
Yeah.
They say let's drop a, and I think they're all gapped. Like was it a 10-year gap between each of them? Right. It's like 93, 2003.
Yeah.
And 2014, I guess in this case.
Yeah, it would be.
Right.
Yeah, it would be almost a 10-year gap.
It is. Oh yeah, 10-year gap.
So, yeah, like I guess in my perfect world, I would like a reboot, but like if we're gonna have different Ranger teams, let's have like it all interconnected almost, like a kind of like I guess maybe like an MCU shared universe type of thing. Like Boom Comics has the right idea as far as that goes. As far as I know, Hasbro is notoriously cheap with their budgets. So I mean, it's typical for Power Rangers. So like,
who is going to spend money on this franchise?
If you're going to continue with the original continuity, like I don't know, it's going to be a challenge. I think if they're going to do it original, they'd have to do something completely out of the box, I guess, in order to like.
Well, they have the Lightning collection, right? So they have that toy collection that's just like these great ones of all the Rangers from different paths. What if they brought in some of those Rangers and it's almost like we need like first available situation where like, guys, we need 5 Rangers to so-and-so to take care of this. And it's like fucking Yellow Ninja Storm pops in and fucking
that'd be cool.
Blue Time Force pops in and it's current.
Yeah.
Like, so you've got the 35-year-old Lucas showing up, and you've got the you know,
mid-40s,
which I think that's what the direction they were going in Megaforce.
They to have
they
those
didn't want to pay the actors.
Yeah, so they had those little cameos here and there, but it wasn't like. I think it was just like they did it to get a free trip to New Zealand. Like
I would absolutely.
I mean, if I got booked in the UK and they were going to fly me over, brother, I will work 3 days and go right back home.
Let's do it. Let's go to New Zealand, guys.
Do you think that Power Rangers could ever have another boom period again, or do you think that was just lightning in a bottle?
I don't think it'll ever pop the way it popped in that 93 like run into 95. Like I don't think that
do kids even play with action figures the same way anymore either?
That's what's stopping it from that boom period. The only way I see it having a big boom is if they have like this exciting detailed video game.
Put it in Fortnite.
Fortnite,
Put it in Fortnite is the answer.
Or they have their own iteration of it because Power Rangers never had a good video game.
No.
Not since the Genesis era.
There was talks of an open world Power Rangers Mighty Morphin game.
But they just keep putting out these fucking arcade style games that are like
Shattered Grid.
And it's all Mighty Morphin.
Yeah, and it's either a Street Fighter style game like Shattered Grid or
Battle for the Grid.
Battle for the Grid.
Which I think that's the one good Power Ranger game.
That was fun.
But it's just a Street Fighter game.
Yeah.
And then and then you have these arcade style, like an open world Power Ranger game where you can literally like go to these different cities and team up and like
have options, a
That would be
multiplayer.
right? Because I mean,
teleport to the command center, dude.
yeah. Well, you have like most of Power Rangers takes place in California, right?
Yeah.
Like they're all different fake cities: Reefside, Angel Grove,
Stone Canyon.
Mariner Bay.
Yeah. But they're all in California, so like the open world only needs to take place in California.
Yeah.
True.
Yeah.
That'd be fun, man.
But that'd be cool. Like there's monster situations where you need those team ups and all these other things. Yeah. Like that would be
an online function would be amazing.
Oh, that'd be cool too.
Like 10 years ago, like when they were like video games were doing that online style series, it would have fit then. But even now, like how multiplayer video games work, even not only the battle royale mode, but like how multiplayer functions now, I think now is the time. But that's the only way I would see a boom period if they had just like how the toys really pushed the show. Like if we had nobody's buying toys anymore. Let's face it.
Yeah, it's
only
it's
like
very thin.
Grown men like us, me.
Just like if you went up to a 10-year-old right now and you said you can either have this $20 or pick a $20 toy from the aisle, or here's a $20 Minecraft card, they're gonna go with the Minecraft card, right?
Yeah.
Like,
man, it's a different time.
It's a different time.
Who knows, man? But
that would be the way they would have to boom is it have to be like a Fortnite type game where where you can use things to buy different Rangers or buy different Ranger upgrades, because like you figure you have basically 30 seasons, right?
Yeah.
And out of those, a good chunk of them have, let's say, bare minimum 6 Rangers. Yeah. So you've got 30 times 6, but a bunch of them have battleizers.
Yeah.
And then you also have villains. And out of those, you have 40 to 50 bad guy of the week. You also have main villains. You have sidekick villains. You have henchmen. You have putties. Stuff like
catalog
that.
Right there of
like
plethora.
You would have people being like, I need Ninja Storms. I need Vivix. Like I need whatever.
And then once that well runs dry, like, okay, this is so popular. We need to add to the series to keep pumping out content, because that's all it was. It was we need to keep these series going so we can keep pumping out merchandise and new toys and new iterations of this, so much that we have to dig back to bring those older models back and resell those, like the Power, I think it was like, the Power Collection series. Yeah. It was like in the middle of like, let's say Lightspeed Rescue, and they'll bring out the Zeonizer for like some, something like that Power Collection. That's I would love for it to have a boom again, man.
Yeah. But I think that like video game, that's the way. I think like if they're gonna do if they're gonna reboot, it should be a little more of a shared universe. So it's like, oh yeah, like SPD is out there patrolling space. Yeah. We got the Time Force over here. Like allude to all of that. Like you don't have to have one centralized team. Like make it an MCU, but like
you have options.
Also, we need a Time Force centric season again. We need a third installment in that world. Yeah. I mean, but possibilities are endless. Kayden Greene, where can they find you?
Oh, well, you can find me on most of your social media platforms at Music City KG. You can find me every Wednesday and Saturday on Whatnot, streaming with the Trading Card Twins.
Hell yeah. Aaron Nova, where can they find you out there in space?
At Kayden Greene's handle, just
same handle.
Just whatever his handle is, that's also mine, because I just,
it's a shared account.
No, I always love when Kayden Greene's around. We always have good conversations about stuff like this.
Because he was also my first choice for a Power Ranger centric episode for Vega's World.
He is a Power Ranger, guys. If you didn't know, Kayden Greene is a Power Ranger.
I am. In the Power Ranger universe.
It's always fun, like when I do these I know you asked me a question. I'm going to get to that. I just want to do the put over part.
Of course.
But like, I hate wrestling podcasts. So it's just
like I said in the first episode.
Hey, brother, where were you trained?
Yeah, I don't know.
On YouTube, go next.
God, speaking of which, that's a funny thing. So I remember an episode of NXT when Xavier Woods was down there. They said on commentary, like Tom Phillips was like, "Oh yeah, Xavier Woods was trained in martial arts by Zach Taylor." And surly Jim Ross was like, well, I've never heard of this martial artist named Zach Taylor. And it's like, oh my God.
You don't get it, brother.
God, it's a Power Rangers reference.
Yeah.
You just don't get it, kid,
man.
do ya?
God, that was hysterical. But
at Aaron Nova, whatever it is, I don't know.
You don't know your own
It's
handle?
just I don't know.
just type in Aaron Nova.
And I'm somewhere. Like it was probably Instagram. I have Facebook, but I don't add people on Facebook. I don't really like Facebook anymore. It used to be fun.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
but now it's like a cesspool for negativity. But anyway, Twitter, Aaron Nova. I write there too sometimes, I think. I'm mostly on Instagram. What other app is there? I don't have TikTok. What else is there?
I mean, is MySpace making a comeback at this point?
I'm on.
Remember when Justin Timberlake bought MySpace?
Did he?
Yeah,
Whoa,
like
really?
10 years ago, Justin Timberlake randomly bought MySpace, and they were trying to bring it back, and it did not happen.
Oh, wow. I mean,
MySpace was
that's
big for the music.
hysterical.
I remember that was like the first for me, like indie music network right there.
MySpace was initially supposed to be like a music social media thing, like for musicians, and then it became like everyone else was like, I want to jump on.
Yeah.
But that was always the fun thing. You customize your
it had
your
personality.
Wall. You had music to it with HTML, codes.
now there's
then they gave you like an actual player.
There's no personality.
But
anymore.
I mean, you can find Aaron Nova again.
Yeah, I'm
on
somewhere
all
out there.
Aaron Nova,
Just
all those social
Google
medias.
it or something.
Just Google me.
Or just
I'll
yell
be out
out,
there.
Google me,
Reg!
bitch.
Reg! Why don't you find the guts to try me?
You never had the guts to try me.
You can find me at the JC Vega on all social media platforms except for TikTok. I'm too old for that.
Why am I on TikTok? I'm older than both of you. I got over as fuck on TikTok.
So how was
You do the
Zordon
dances?
back in high school, brother?
How was it being part of the Guardians of Eltar? Yeah, that's another fun. Before
He's
we
gonna
end,
kill us when this.
That's another.
we stop recording.
That's a fun boom addition to the lore. Where,
Okay,
like,
boomer.
they were like the Guardians of Eltar. It was like him.
Yeah, I was in it.
Zofran,
Yeah.
Zoltar. I think there was a Zoltar on there.
Zoltar's from fucking
They
Big.
unaired pilot, but yeah, they repurposed the name for like, one of the Guardians. And I forgot
It's
which.
the wizard from Big.
I forgot which.
Oh
one
yeah, it is.
Yeah.
Oh, it is. Okay. Holy
But
crap.
like that was one of the all the people from Eltar for some reason have Z names, and I remember
Of course. Makes sense.
they added backstory to like Zed being one of the members of the Guardians of Eltar.
Oh, that'd be pretty cool.
And that's why like he's like a melted like flesh
Yeah.
or like
And he's
whatever
on
he
the
was,
gas,
was
brother.
because like I grabbed the Zeo crystal because I want to preserve like I want to protect this thing, but it, like melts off his skin. So anyway, random tangent. You could like I said, you can find me the JC Vega. Thank you guys for coming on.
Oh, thank
Yeah,
you for
buddy.
having me, brother.
Catch us next week.